ask you is, I don't wanna push you farther away, no, I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, are you down for love? Are you up for it? I wanna be together, be together. Babe, I want your love. I'll be the one you trust. You're all that matters, all that matters. Are you down for love? Are you up for it? I wanna be together, I wanna be together. Babe, I want your love, your love. I'll be the one you trust. You're all that matters.
No matter what we go through, love will still remain. So do what you want, baby. You and me in the sun. Know that I still be here when the day is done. So come a little bit closer, and I'll tell you what I feel inside. You know I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you. You know I'm gonna wait on you. Yes, I'm gonna wait on you. No one's gonna love you like I do. So glad that I found you. You're the missing piece, the last piece of the puzzle. I'm finally at ease. So when times are rough and the promises we make just seem so hollow and weak, and we're about to break, we have to remind ourselves, 'cause we know how we feel inside. You know I'm gonna wait on you. Ain't over till it's over. I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna love it till it's gone. You know I'm gonna wait on you. And the weight that's on your shoulder, I'm gonna carry that for you. So hear me when I say, no one's gonna love you
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
The day is Thursday, August 26, 2021. Thank you so much for joining us. We are still faced with two options before us: reason, logic, science, peace versus war. Let's unpack the situation that we're facing. Up first, on the clock with Georgia Fort.
Today, we are just 5 days away from the deadline that Biden set for withdrawing U.S. troops out of Afghanistan. And now we're learning more than 20 students and 16 parents from California are trapped in the country. The concerning thing about this is not just the fact that the airport is likely closed down, but that the White House administration is not even aware that the group of students and parents are trapped in the country. Take a listen as the White House correspondent responded to questions regarding the incident.
The LA Times has a story saying that a group of students and their parents are in Afghanistan. Do you have any more information on that, or is that a...
I do not. Who have recently traveled into Afghanistan?
Who are apparently stranded in Afghanistan after having traveled there. I don't know for certain that this is a
I
legit
certainly
story.
don't have additional information on that. I know, as our Secretary of State just noted, when he went through a thorough summary of American citizens and our contacts and our focus over the last several days, he gave an update. I'm happy to take their information if there's something more detailed you have.
Now, the superintendent of that district has started to reach out to different congressmen and women on this matter, saying that the group of students and parents were supposed to be back in the country by August 17th. So it's almost been 10 days past the day they were supposed to arrive because school's already commenced. And so these individuals, students, parents alike, stranded in Afghanistan. Ben, I feel like we kind of anticipated some of this was going to happen closer to the deadline date for withdrawal, but when we discussed people being trapped, Americans being trapped, we thought it was going to be those who were protecting allies.
That's right.
This is the first that we're really hearing of just regular civilians who were in Afghanistan for other reasons.
You know, you got to forgive me. I'm a little fidgety with this particular story because my instinct is to be the skeptic that I am naturally. But I've been doing this long enough to realize that the first and foremost thing that matters is that we get them out of the country, whoever they are, for whatever reason that they are there, which we will unpack in a moment. Whoever they are, and for whatever reason they are there, they need to be evacuated. And it seems as though Jen Psaki, what I did appreciate about that moment was the sincerity of the moment where she was transparent and she honestly was concerned. She was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me they're tourists in Afghanistan? Because that is an absurdity that we must interrogate. But I think first and foremost, we have to discuss the fact that they need to get home safely.
Absolutely. And I do think those who have been critical of Biden's exit strategy, this is definitely one of those outlier situations where when you abruptly decide to withdraw, for folks who are not, all the way tuned in to international affairs, I'd hope that they gotten the memo, but clearly they didn't, or they didn't get it in time. Because if school started on August 17th, that means that they were supposed to be back before the 17th. And so they're 9 days late now. So either they didn't get the memo in time, or the other part of this is we're only seeing so much on our end from the journalists who are on the ground covering this,
Right.
that the scene to get to the airport, to get on a plane back, it's that chaotic and it's that challenging.
Right. The quote unquote patriot in me is saying, America, get these people out of here. We'll answer questions when they get home. But it's clear as day that there's a problem with their cover story. And it reeks of American citizens who are there for other purposes. They need to be rescued and recovered. But for what purposes are they there, such that the United States government is itself not aware of their presence?
Yeah, well, according to the superintendent, they were there just studying abroad. There's a pretty large group of students, if you ask me, 20 students, 16 parents. And I think this is going to prove to us um, just how strict the Taliban is. Is the Taliban going to budge? It looks like they've already shut down access to the airport. Are they going to make an exception here and allow these Americans who say that they got stranded there accidentally? Are they going to allow them to come back home?
Oh, they absolutely better. Because what's clear is that the Taliban wants to be recognized on the international stage, and President Biden intends on giving them the opportunity to choose their destiny. We all remember those books when we were growing up. The Taliban has an opportunity to choose their destiny. Are they going to be recognized on the international stage as an relatively equal actor, or are they going to be a regime that the empire of the United States of America will switch on a turn of a dime? Let's be clear. This peaceful rhetoric from Joe Biden, which I appreciate and I salute and I commend, we all know the United States of America has the ability to flip on a dime and send in an entire battalion to remove the Taliban. The Taliban is aware of that. They're calculating that. And my guess is that they're going to do whatever is necessary to make sure that they survive as a legitimately recognized regime on the international stage. So my guess is that they are going to allow these students to come home.
Well, and I was reading after our conversation about women's rights. I was reading more just about the way the Taliban is approaching women's rights,
Mm.
and they're saying that the leaders who are in position now are a lot more moderate than 20 years ago. However, there is still a looming concern of how much rights women will be allowed to have, if they'll be allowed to work, and if they'll be able to have some of the freedoms that they've had since the US has been occupying the country. Those are concerns of a lot of people who are following this, to see uh, basically where's the Taliban at with this. And I think that that is going to be a significant part of the way not just the US respects them as a regime, but on an international platform. Are they going to really be respected? And it's going to boil down to how they treat women.
Georgia, I honestly would like to go along with you, because aspirationally, that should be the case, right? What you're saying is, I think it was Brother Mac. Somebody kind of put me up on game to this yesterday. Fact of the matter is, the United States of America is very comfortable with working with regimes that are brutal to women. In so much as I believe that the United States is a part of what is happening in Afghanistan, um, such that we probably need to unpack it on another episode. The point is that the Taliban is going to be answerable to the United States, but the question is, has America demonstrated an earnest, sincere agenda for women across the globe? Or have we seen, as in our relationship, as with our relationship with Saudi Arabia, the United States of America will ignore a myriad of atrocities against women in order to maintain that strategic alliance?
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Ben. I Last thing I want to talk about here with Afghanistan, there are some people in our country who are asking us, why are you guys still talking about this? I don't want
Mm.
to hear about this anymore. They don't see the connection or the correlation with how it impacts their lives and why
Mm.
this is an important matter that they should be following.
Yeah, it's really simple. I think this is the clearest example of empire without and police state within. The weapons that were being used in Afghanistan are now in Ferguson, and they are now in the streets of our cities. The reason our police officers look so militaristic is because they have the excess of the spoils of the military industrial complex. Those extra boots that General Washington ordered, they are all over the streets of our quote unquote urban centers. And the reason the police state is allowed to do what it does to Black people is because they first perfected their skill set abroad.
And for Americans who don't see how this issue impacts them, let's just, just for fun, let's go back to 9/11.
Mm,
Yeah. Let's look at 9/11. Do you want that to happen again in our country on American soil? That is
mm,
the number one reason why you should be paying attention to this. The other thing I'll say is a lot more the simplicity of humanity. We're all on this earth together. And if there is a part of the world where people's rights are being denied, men or women or children, we definitely should know, and we should feel that in our souls when we see other human beings who are not being treated with respect, who are not given,
yeah,
basic human rights.
that's
We
right.
should be paying attention to that. But so many Americans have the privilege to turn the other
Mm,
cheek, to turn the TV off, excuse me, to turn the radio off and act like this stuff is not happening. Oh, it doesn't impact me. It doesn't affect me. And I don't think that we're at a place internationally where we can afford to do that anymore.
yeah, no, we absolutely can't, because if you think about the direct line, especially because folks, we are seated in empire. We are literally protected by the barbarity of America's military. Love you guys. God bless America. But let's be sure what the people of Afghanistan and Iraq faced and suffered underneath the occupation of their territory through our military created, I mean, the record is clear. There are atrocities that America commits on the international stage, and that blowback has been documented to come to the streets of our neighborhoods. These weapons are not going to the other side of Hammondville. They're coming to our side of MLK.
Mm, mm.
MLK Boulevard. I'm sorry, I need to finish the illusion. MLK Boulevard is an intersection in Pompano Beach, Florida, where on one side of the tracks, it is the white neighborhood. They're not going there. They're coming to the MLK side of our neighborhood.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have an MLK Boulevard here too. So
Mm,
yeah, and that's where a lot of them come. So we're going to continue to follow this. Like I said, we're getting closer to that deadline. August 31st is the deadline for the troops to be fully out of Afghanistan. So we're 5 days away. The White House is going to have to act very quickly if they're going to respond to these 20 students and 16 parents who are trapped in Afghanistan.
mm,
Turning now to some updates on COVID. Of course, the different, back and about the mask mandates and vaccination mandates is continuing to cause ruckus in different cities and different states across the nation. I want you guys to take a listen to Dr. Anthony Fauci saying how things are going to get back to normal by spring of 2022.
If we could do that with the people who've been infected, get them revaccinated, the people who are unvaccinated now, that 90 million people, get them vaccinated, I think we can get a degree of overall blanket protection of the community that as we get into the early part of 2022, getting through the winter, which could be complicated by influenza, by respiratory syncytial virus, that as we get into the spring, we could start getting back to a degree of normality.
mm, mm,
This, as Texas Governor Greg Abbott puts a ban on mandating the vaccine, as we've seen the ban on mandating masks in schools, city by city across the country. We're having the conversation now as students here in Minnesota are anticipated to go back to school in less than 2 weeks. So, can we really anticipate getting back to normal when we still have governors and mayors who are putting a ban on
mm,
mandating masks, who are
right,
putting a ban on mandating vaccinations?
right. We are living in the absurd timeline, and we are looking at the complete failure of our political system. I want to be very clear about this. What we're seeing are our elected officials do what is in the worst interest of their constituents, and we have to ask the reason why. Well, you can always follow the money in some form or fashion, and we did so with Rand Paul, who is one of the leading propagandists who is sowing disinformation on the international stage from the halls of our empire in the Senate, attacking Anthony Fauci on a regular basis, such that he's undermining our opportunity to save lives. This is the brokenness of our political system. It is not being used to foster the sense of community that's necessary for us to survive. It's being used to get people killed. The absurdity of it all.
And the numbers continue to rise. Week by week, we're seeing more and more new COVID cases. The US continuing to lead the world globally with the amount of new cases. And the other piece of this, Ben, is not just the way that the political leaders are responding to the pandemic, but now the way that you have those who support Trump, Republican supporters, how they're responding. We had a conversation about the ivermectin
Mm.
being used, horse dewormer. I saw you shared a story that said you would have to use 150 times the normal dosage in order for you to see any results. I keep reflecting back on this conversation that I had with this individual who advised me to take ivermectin. And had I have known
Wow.
then what I know now, because I didn't even know what ivermectin was at the time. When I was being told about it, I was like, "Oh, what is this thing?" I was like, "Yeah, my friend told me to take, herbal supplements. What's ivermectin?" I didn't even know what it was, but you legitimately have people in our country who are going around who are swearing by ivermectin, who are swearing the vaccine doesn't work despite the fact that it's been approved by the FDA, who refuse to put a mask on, going against everything that's being advised. Can we realistically, to get back to the point here, can we realistically think that things are going to be normal by spring of 2022?
um, if and only if we successfully unravel, detangle, and confront every conspiracy theory that we have had to ignore for the sake of the peace of our families and our friendships and our relationships with our yoga instructors and the health and wellness gurus in our neighborhood that we really really like you guys, you all, but you all are aiding and abetting in the murders of millions because of the ignorance that's being spread from what I believe. Georgia, I'm listening to you as you put it together. I'm seeing a connecting thread. There is a epicenter from which all of this ignorance is flowing, because we are now seeing in a unanimous voice the opposition to reason. All of them are now saying ivermectin, however you pronounce it. How is it all of a sudden that you have people in the Black community talking about this drug? You have people in the health and wellness community coming, people in the spiritual community doing it. You have people from the white supremacist sectors doing it. You have people on Fox News doing it. You have people who are so-called progressives in our leftist spaces, the spaces that we fight against ignorance. You now have them doing it all of a sudden in one voice, unanimously. You cannot tell me that it's not emanating from a single source who has an agenda that has got to be rooted in how many people they can get killed, because that's the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it
Sorry.
is. And I think we had talked about FCC regulations. Yeah, no, and but to that point though, it's like, how can the narrative be controlled? What are the real regulations that need to happen, especially online? Because I
Whew.
feel like it's
Yeah,
still such a new industry that what we're seeing now is a result of misinformation being allowed to go
that's right.
across the internet. There's no regulation to people spreading these conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
50 years ago, I mean, at least there was not this much misinformation that was put out? How do we combat it? And I think that there has been huge
Mm,
resistance to regulating online activity, internet. There's been a lot of pushback for the way that things can be regulated in the cyber world. But
yeah.
there at some point has to be a development of technology and regulations
Mm,
to stop the spread of
that's right.
misinformation, because I feel like the internet has been the vehicle. It's been the vehicle not only get the misinformation and the conspiracy theories out there, but it's also been the vehicle that has allowed these hate groups to
That's right.
organize and galvanize and mobilize in a way that, resulted in the January 6th attack.
I'm so glad that's where you stuck the landing, because your point is absolutely true. It is the usage of the internet, and you tie it back to January 6th. It's difficult to regulate the internet when we can't even regulate the type of sociopaths that ascend to the White House. -45, right? The sociopathy that gets power in the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Matt Gates, the Ron DeSantis, the Greg Abbotts, right? That type of ascendancy to the height of power of our democracy itself represents a threat to democracy in the form of how they are ruling. And Donald Trump went to the White House based on how much of a buffoon he could be. We have a real big problem in our democracy when we not only are fighting against the impediments of technology, as you stated, Georgia, we're also faced with the struggles of bigotry.
And the struggle to accept truth,
Mm,
which I feel like we started cultivating well before Trump. Even when you look at climate reality, do you know how many people were saying that, oh, climate change isn't real?
mm,
Oh, they didn't want to look at the science. So we've been cultivating a community, a society here that can go against science, that can go against truth, that can go against the facts and say, yeah, no, I don't want to believe that. And even from a journalism standpoint, I remember being trained in saying if I was going to touch climate reality, I had to tell both sides of the story. And
wow.
that ideology that there's two sides to the truth, there's two sides to a fact,
That's
is a
right.
very dangerous
That's right.
place. And
That's right.
we've been cultivating that for a long time. And I think it's to a point now where you had people who had climate denial that have now resulted in where we are today, which is all of these wildfires. And it's parallel. You might not see the connection, but it is parallel to where we are
Absolutely.
today with this pandemic, because you
Absolutely.
have pandemic pe- deniers, people who are denying the reality of this pandemic, people who are denying the reality of COVID-19, and they feel like a vaccine is an option or wearing a mask is an option or just shouldn't happen at all. But it's
Mm,
not rooted in truth and it's not rooted in facts or science. But because they have been allowed to play with the facts in a way that ultimately helps their their business. A lot of this is
mm,
is about their bottom line. It was
that's
about their
right.
bottom line
That's
when we were
right.
talking about climate reality. And it damn sure is still about their bottom line now that we're talking about, yeah, maybe we should shut businesses down. Maybe kids shouldn't go back to school.
That's right.
And they don't want
That's
to
right.
see that happen because this is a country that's rooted in capitalism.
Mm. Period. Point blank. Only thing I would add to this is that this is also the intersection where we're going to see the divide between, and I mistakenly said Hammondville. Hammondville is still on the black side of Pompano Beach. I'm thinking about Coconut Creek Parkway down in Pompano Beach, Florida, where it turns, well, at least when I was young, it turned into the white side of town versus the black side of town. It's in every single city. What do you think the impending climate crisis is going to impact the most? Which side of the area code, which side of the tracks do you think will it be affected by climate disaster first when it comes down to the land grab of all the people who are being forced out of their homes because of those wildfires, because of the change in climate? Where do you think they are going to come? It is going to impact Black people in ways that we need to discuss on a regular basis, Sister Ford. Thank you so
Mm.
much for putting that out there.
Yeah, and it is because we don't have a spaceship.
All we got are the delivery trucks, and we don't even own those. We just drive them.
That do not have porta potties.
Come on, somebody. Y'all think what you think they're gonna do to black people during the climate crisis?
You better get your water bottles.
We laughing for not
You better
crying.
stock up on some empty bottles because you're gonna need them. But we already know that the 1% is investigating what it looks like for them to evacuate to another planet. Which planet is going to be the most sustainable? They're planning their exit strategy.
That's right.
They already have their escape route mapped out. They've already done a test run. How quick can I get there? They already have their emergency bags packed. And so the reality of it is we're going to be the ones who are stuck here, middle and lower class citizens who can't afford to get on a spaceship. We're going to be the ones who are stuck here trying to put the pieces together. And so absolutely, while you continue to see political leaders who are denying the severity of this pandemic, who are denying implementing the things that could save lives.
That's right.
Somebody, and I encourage it to be you, better start being really real about the facts, and start being really real about the fact that there is not two sides to some of these issues, unlike the way that other folks would like to present it.
Absolutely the case.
Well, that's it. We're on the clock. It's about that time. But Ben, I understand you have a lot of great things and guests planned for the rest of the show.
I think one thing, thank you for this spot here, because I think the only solution, Georgia, to any of these problems is that we're really going to have to lay out every conspiracy all the way to the end. Right. I don't think we're going to get back to regular in spring of 2022 unless we confront the ignorance and of the conspiracy theories that have become a fear-based excuse to justify ignoring the science of the vaccine. If we don't unravel them, and so in the next segment, we're going to be speaking with an author who has confronted how you confront science deniers. We're going to talk about that in the next break.
All right, Ben. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Good morning, good people. You already know who it is. You hear the voice, you hear the sound. It is your boy James W. Williams, DJ Exclusive in the building. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We got to get some music going on. And we'll get the morning started shortly. Y'all, good morning. There we go, y'all. Good morning, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. The Dixon show is coming up next. Got some stuff coming in there. Some good stuff coming up, so make sure you stay tuned. Bubba has to grab his coffee as soon as his music break is over. Coffee. Good morning, everybody. That's right, Miss Brady. You already know what it is. That Funkadelics. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, y'all. Come on in, get some tea, your coffee, whatever it is that you need. Bubba needs to go get his. I need some extra caffeine this morning. Like, I literally came on, like, right when on the clock was in, and I'm like, man, I'm so far behind this morning, but that's okay. I'm here. Hallelujah. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Come on in. Hit that like button on your way in. Make sure you hit that like button wherever you are right now. Good morning, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's what already out there. Twitch. Everybody there. Good morning, y'all.
It was just a misunderstanding. You waited in the rain for hours, and I couldn't say the right things. No, I checked your number twice, then I went home. But I wanna let you know that, yeah, everything about you makes me smile.
Good morning, everyone, again. Good morning. We got some good stuff coming up, so make sure that you stay tuned, y'all. All right, good morning, y'all.
Around you all the time. You don't understand. You don't need to worry.
Blue Daddy, good morning. Not yet,
You
but
don't
they're
have to
coming
search
soon,
no
always.
more.
Now, yesterday I told the story. You know, little one come up with that. I think it's gonna be a joke today because I'm like all kinds behind. So yeah, good morning, y'all. But yeah, dad jokes coming up. Probably next break. We got
You don't need
y'all.
to worry. Go down low, seven. Go down low, honey. Go down low, baby. Go down, seven, give it love. Go down low, seven. Go down low, honey. Go down low, baby. Go down, seven, give it love. And I want you to meet my parents. Yeah. Now I'm including you in my whole world. With you, I'm so transparent. You tear down every wall that I built up. Now I wanna let you know that, yeah, everything about you makes me smile. I wanna be
Sister
your
Seven
best
Sweetheart is in the building. Good morning, Seven Sweetheart.
friend. I wanna be around you.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the screen. My brother from another mother, Benjamin Dixon.
DJ exclusive. Who's that we just got through listening to? I like that joint.
House of Say.
House of Say.
Yeah.
That's a bop.
Yeah.
DJ exclusive, how you doing this morning, man?
Tired of crap, dog. You probably can't see my eyes. Tired as shit.
I hear you, bro.
Look, man, the coffee is smelling. The coffee is just like
Go. Did you get the coffee
you know how the
yet?
apple pie does when they put the apple pie on the
Yes.
windowsill and it's just like
In the cartoons? And they
Yes,
come
the-
floating in like
the coffee
Man,
scent is like this. It's like
we can see the aroma. Somebody animate the aroma drifting into the nostrils. James, go get you some coffee, man. We appreciate what you do. But some of this, listen, as you get your coffee, some of this you're going to want to jump in on because it's a
Yes.
conversation that is really prevalent in all of our communities. The sad part about it is of this conversation is that I'm stammering and I'm all over the place because this problem is so close to home for so many of us because we have dealt with science deniers, people who refuse to get the vaccine. And even though they refuse to get the vaccine, then some of them refuse to wear masks and they don't want to wear masks. And it's just a cacophony of ignorance that takes us down to 600 and almost 700,000 people dead from the pandemic. So not to set it up so drastically, because some of this stuff is actually hilarious, if not for the fact that they're getting people killed. David, let's run the first clip so people can see just the absurdity that has got me stuttering and stammering, and that's rarely a trait of mine. Let's go.
I cannot afford to let my girls grow up in a world where the government is allowed to force an experimental injection into their bodies. Just as surely discrimination based on race, gender, age, sexual orientation, religion, and ethnicity have led to misery, policies that discriminate against the unvaccinated will do the same thing. Thank you.
They're not vaccines, they're poison.
A vaccine? This isn't a vaccine. This is some kind of a bio-pharma injection.
This is a trick to get us to have digital IDs. They don't know science, but they know marketing.
you son of a bitch are not gonna force me to put some vaccine in my kid's face.
I am at a loss.
Ben,
With one except. Go ahead, James. Help me
okay, I was about to say, Ben, you had a loss. I don't know what you had a loss about. You saw who got up on that. I don't know why y'all had such a loss with the stupidity of these goddamn people, because these people are stupid, bro.
They are so convicted.
Oh
They are
my
so
gosh.
sincere. They are so sincere in their ignorance. James, go ahead, man. It's making it's
Somebody.
above my
I
pay
got
grade.
to bring it up in the chat. Somebody said, "Why is Miles Morales there?" Bro, I saw that too. And that's if anything, that's what pissed me off more. This black ass man dressed as Spider-Man. One of my favorite Marvel characters that messed me all up, and your dumb ass is here at this rally. But I digress. I'm not gonna say what he looked like.
Well, yeah,
okay?
hold the line
that.
for that. Hold that for the after party, because we're still a work in progress, evolving to make sure that we're palatable for the masses. But that said, these folks dumb as hell, bro.
Ben, I'm not understanding it. You, this lady said an experimental drug.
Except one thing, and I think this is the nature of the conversation we're getting ready to have. They have become so accustomed to people calling them ignorant and dumb that it has become a part. They have themselves become a part of a feedback loop where that becomes a sign of honor and a badge where they can now say, we are brainwashed because we can't see. And so whereas we see them as dumb, they honestly feel as though we have been so brainwashed by the mass machine that we are the ones who are not seeing the light. And they don't see us as dumb. They see us as sheep to the slaughter, and that they are the ones who have been given the light. Let's run the next clip, David, so we can get more context.
You with that diaper on your face, if he farted right now, could you smell it? That's how stupid this is. We're all playing games here with people's lives. And I'm sick of it. I represent all these hardworking guys that couldn't be here today to take off work to put up with this BS that you guys are putting down. And there's hell coming. There's hell coming, and I'm not doing it to threaten anybody. But there's a lot of good guys out there ready to do bad things soon. Watch what's coming. These mandates are against the Nuremberg codes. The first one states voluntary informed consent. Are you a Nazi? What is it? They sent my dad off to Vietnam and fight for the country, but you're going to tell him to wear a mask? I appreciate the fact that I can't control myself. There's a lot of other guys that control that can't control themselves.
Talk to me.
That's why they're not here right now. I have nothing else to say. Do what's right. There's a lot of bad things coming.
The cognitive dissonance is causing a rupture in my synapses because he's speaking with a level of conviction that we should be speaking with because they are getting people killed. But there are levels to this. I want to bring in our guest, Lee McIntyre, who's the author of the book, How to Talk to a Science Denier, because we did a natural evolution in our conversation, James, that I think we need some insight into in terms of how do we deal with this. First and foremost, Lee, thank you for joining us. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fine. Thank you so much for having me.
The pleasure is ours. This is near and dear to every single one of us. Even if we don't have someone in our family who is a science denier, we have someone in our orbit who is, and this is a problem that is keeping us from getting out of the pandemic.
You're absolutely right. I mean, science denial has been around for a long time. COVID is the latest iteration, and it grew so fast right before our eyes. I was already writing this book, and I saved the last chapter for COVID denial before it existed because you could tell what was going to happen.
So you yourself, so a part of me in I have in a journal somewhere where I wrote about, I was trying to create a narrative that was extremely realistic. And the narrative that I came up with was a virus that was uncontrollable because of virality and our pursuit for viral content. You're saying from a scientific perspective or in investigating it in the way that you investigated, You saw this coming too. Please tell us how you saw it coming.
The reason is because all science denial is the same. It all follows the same blueprint. Modern science denial started with the tobacco companies, which banded together in the 1950s to push back against the idea that smoking caused lung cancer. And the way that they did it was they brought in a public relations expert who said, fight the science. Hire your own experts, take out ads in newspapers. You don't need to overturn the finding. You don't need to do science yourself. All you need to do is create enough doubt that we can go ahead and keep on selling our product. And that's
right.
what's been happening here. This is a campaign of doubt that has been created, disinformation that has been created by some folks for their own special interests. So you could see it coming. It wasn't that all these people woke up one day and said, gee, I wonder if I breathe into a mask, if I'll get carbon dioxide poisoning, or
there it is.
That all of a sudden they wanted to, they'd heard of hydroxychloroquine, in American history, and they thought, oh, maybe we can use that. It was that this disinformation was fed to them by somebody who had an interest in creating an army of resistors. That's predictable.
But yet we're caught off guard every cycle.
Every time. Yeah.
Here's one thing I'm wondering, in your research, have you found a trend of the Darwin Awards? Because I think if this is consistent through history, there has to be an erasure of the ignorance that is self-destructive, like we're seeing. But the unfortunate thing about that, which is kind of tongue in cheek, is right now how many essential workers and people who would take it all very seriously have died. But I'm wondering if through history you see a parallel track of death because of science denial.
Science denial can lead to death, but the Darwin Awards are given out to people who, the saying goes, improve the gene pool by removing themselves from it. And, my favorite is Dynamite Rancher and Angry Wheelchair Man, things like this, people who crawled over the fence to get to a Metallica concert and ended up killing themselves. The problem with science denial is that they kill other people. Okay, they don't just kill themselves. And so when you look at climate change, when you look at COVID, these are examples where, the disinformation is, in some cases, removing them from the gene pool, which is, not a happy result. Because in some sense, they're the victims of this too. They're the victims of the disinformation. It's hard to see that because it's hard to feel empathy with a clown like that guy that you just had on the clip, who really does not have a clue why he's so angry. But he's been caused to be that angry. And in some ways, he's a victim. It's hard to feel empathy for him. And yet he's not getting anything out of this. He's a pawn in somebody else's game.
I want to get to the wizard behind the curtain a little bit towards the end. I want to deal with the ability of this type of conspiracy and science denial to suspend with the instinct for self-preservation. Because when it comes down to my life, I'm going to be extremely skeptical with every single source, and I'm going to yield to the most trustworthy source. But in this case, it is the exact opposite, is getting them to respond with something that's going to get them killed. How is it that this type of propaganda is so efficient at suspending people's self-preservation instinct?
You've asked one of the hardest and most important questions in the science denial debate. And I think the way to answer it is this. If you thought that science denial was about facts and truth and about this instinct for self-preservation, or even just good old-fashioned skepticism, then you couldn't really make sense of it because, how do people not end up harming themselves? But it's not about that. It's about identity and community and a sense of alienation and the search for belonging. And people will take themselves out and the others around them through that. Think of it this way. If you distrust the people around you, okay, that is a very difficult way to survive. So it's built into our survival network, through evolution, to trust the people around us. So then the question arises, who is around us? Who are we listening to? Okay. If we're a part of the society where, we're listening to good information, then that's our community. Those are the people that we trust. But if you're listening to Fox News all day, if you're listening to the purveyors of disinformation, if you live in a community where other people are not wearing masks or getting vaccines, then that's your community. Those are the people that you trust. And it's, it's a horrific thing. This identity question is so strong that you now see, in fact, I read the other day about folks who live in communities with very low vaccination rates, who are putting on disguises and sneaking to get their vaccines. Now, why would they do that? Okay, because they want to save their own lives. But why do they feel the need to put on the disguise? It's because their sense of community and identity is so strong with the anti-vax COVID hoaxer community that they do that. It is it's a terrible thing, and the part that it makes me mad because we're all suffering for it, and yet we don't know what to do. We don't know how to talk to them, and that's the part of it that I really wrote the book for, is that we need to talk. As difficult as it is, that's the solution. We're not going to get there through yelling at each other. We're not going to get there through any sort of anger. We're going to get there through enlarging people's sense of community by building trust through face-to-face conversation, which is very hard to do, but it's necessary.
I'm in the middle of that. It's so serendipitous. I'm literally in the middle of that with people in my community. I want to leave it ambiguous enough to not put anyone on Front Street, but people in my community, I'm having face-to-face conversations about this exact thing. And what I'm hearing you say, if I could summarize it in a way and help me to take a look at this, it's not if one friend jumps off a cliff, we're not going to follow them. But if 5 of our friends in our community jump off a cliff, then we feel like we're justified in that jump. Is that kind of the phenomenon you're describing?
It is, because there's a social aspect to belief. And they showed this back in the 1950s in an experiment on conformity and belief. People have always heard about the big ones. This one was actually quite important, done at Swarthmore College by Solomon Asch in the 50s. He had 20 people in his lab, 19 of whom were people, they were called Confederates, right? People that he knew and he could tell them what to do. So the only experimental subject in that room was the one guy, okay? And this was an elegant experiment because he had lines drawn on the board. One was this long, one was this long. I mean, this was not a hard case. And the question was, which line is longer? The first 3 rounds, Ash had told the Confederates, do it correctly, say which line is longer. But on the 4th trial, he said, now start saying the short line is longer. In 30% of the cases, the last person to go, the one, went along with the other 19. Now, think about that for a minute. That's not even a vaccine. That's not even something that might theoretically harm your health. That's just using your own 2 eyes to see what's in front of your face. And that one person, 30% of the time, was so influenced by the other 19 that they couldn't see reality even when it was in front of their eyes. People seem to think this is rare. This is not. I mean, this is cult behavior. This is how you get people to go along with things. You start small. Pretty soon you've got them drinking the Kool-Aid, and they all go.
Yes. People in the church world from which I hail, they understand that reference very well. I want to bring in the factor here of the monster outgrowing the creator, the Frankenstein effect, I guess. Maybe I don't even know if that's correct, but Donald Trump getting booed. David, I don't know if you've had time to pull up that clip, but when you do get it, I want to talk about the fact that whereas Donald Trump rode this conspiracy-laden community, that ironically falls right along that 30% that you talk about, because no matter what, there's about 33% of the voting populace that is going to support Donald Trump no matter what. And it's funny how in this instance, they have created a new alliance that is stronger than Donald Trump, because now when Donald Trump says says yes to the vaccine, they boo him. Run to the clip, David.
Up in Alabama yesterday.
I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know, okay? I'll call up Alabama and say, hey, you know what? But it is working.
BS. Trump, that's a lie. You're not stupid. Just 2 weeks ago, they said it was 65%, then 40%. Saw a number put up about Pfizer shots, 30-something%. Because they just want to tell you it doesn't work, so you're running at the new damn shot. And then they'll tell you in 6 months that one doesn't work. It's called rope-a-dope. Shame on you, Trump. Seriously. Hey, if you don't have the good sense to save yourself and your political career, that's okay. At least you're going to get some good Republicans elected. And, we like you. But my God, maybe you're not that bright. Maybe Trump's actually a dumbass.
Now, Brother Lee, here's one other element I want you to put into your equation. And if you could balance it for us, that would be illuminating, I think, as it pertains to the wizard behind the curtain. There's a group of people who would never align with Donald Trump because they see his bigotry and his racism, particularly the Black community. But they would align with Alex Jones on this in the rejection of the vaccine. Help us to understand the nature of the community that has been created by the wizard behind the curtain.
So here's the thing. Skepticism is not a bad thing. And it is perfectly understandable that people would have questions about the vaccine when it gets started, especially communities that have been, historically exploited in some instances, like the Tuskegee experiment. So people have questions. Here's the thing, though: doubt can be overcome by evidence, but distrust cannot. And so we're back to that question of, where you get your information and who you trust. Okay, so. This is a case where you might find that people are distrustful for different reasons. And it's also important to remember that denial exists on a spectrum. Not everybody I'm using the word denial sort of freely here, but it really is true that some people are vaccine hesitant. In fact, in some cases, folks are not taking their vaccine simply for lack of access. And what we need is a bookmobile. When I was a kid, we had the bookmobile that came around like the ice cream truck. We need that for vaccines.
If you might allow me to interject on behalf of my wife's sorority, the AKAs, who went down to Mississippi back in the height of segregation and provided that type of mobile access to healthcare. We need that. Yes, sir. Go continue.
We need that. And what we also need is an army of influencers from the communities that are resisting the vaccine to help with accurate information. You're not going to trust somebody who's a politician. You're not going to trust somebody who's maybe a sports star or a celebrity, but you're going to trust somebody from your own community. You might trust your minister. You might trust your neighbor. And if we could get more people convinced that they could actually do some good in speaking to science deniers or vaccine hesitant, however you want to think about it. If people would just get over the idea that they're going to cause more harm than good, or that they're going to break the relationship, or that they can't do any good, I think we really could see that we could get over this problem. Trump, I love the fact that you ran that clip. How influential is he on the vaccine question? Doesn't look like he's as influential as he thought he was, because it is the Frankenstein's monster effect. Once you get people polarized and pissed off, it's pretty hard to control them, and they can come back to bite you. And so he's done an enormous amount of damage. It reminds me of what happened in South Africa during the AIDS HIV crisis a few years back, when President Mbeki said, no, AZT is a Western plot. You can't take antiretroviral drugs. You can treat HIV with garlic, lemon juice, and beetroot. And 300,000 people died.
Who benefited from that? How would someone benefit from telling a lie like that? And James, I want you to get in there, but I thought we were going to miss the wizard. But in that exact example, how could someone do something so atrocious? Help us understand that.
Is that my question then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are a couple of wizards, and the wizards depend on the topic. When you're talking about tobacco, when you're talking about climate change, it's money. Okay, the fossil fuel industry, the tobacco industry, they're benefiting from this. The more difficult one, when you're talking about anti-vax, that's a tougher one because sometimes it's anti-government, sometimes it's anti-pharmacy. Here's the thing that nobody is talking about, but is based on my research, I have discovered, and it's sitting there in plain sight. It's not, I mean, you don't have to break into CIA headquarters to see this. Foreign governments like Russia and China are engaging in a disinformation campaign targeted at the United States to get us polarized along the lines of science. This is no secret. Vladimir Putin has been doing this around GMOs, around vaccines. For years, there was a story in the New York Times called Putin's Long War Against American Science. They will look for anything that they can. So who benefits from the fact that we're at one another's throats about COVID? People who don't want to see American society stable. China, Russia, they have troll farms. I mean, they create the disinformation. And here's the really upsetting part. They can't do it on their own. They need the amplifiers. They create the disinformation, and then who pumps it out? Fox News.
Yeah.
Conservative media. That's who pumps it out. Now, how it ever occurred that there was this ally relationship between conservative media and the Russians, who created that? Donald Trump.
Huh.
So there's a little bit of, I wouldn't say he's a wizard.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure he's benefiting from this, but he created something that had the unintended consequence of putting us where we are. And if you think about it, why did it have to happen? I mean, it could have gone the other way. He was president when the vaccines came about. He didn't invent them, but he could have said, look, these are my vaccines. That's something he would have said. And he could have also said, this pandemic is very bad for American business. The American economy is going to fail. I want you to get out there, every good red-blooded conservative, and take your vaccine. If he'd have done that at the beginning of the pandemic, we would have been in a very different place right now.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
He would have got a second term as well. James, jump in there.
No, I wanted to ask Lee a question, and just thinking about it, I know we were talking about that distrust and that vaccine hesitancy, which is very prevalent in the African American community, especially because, like you said, with the Tuskegee experiment.
Yes.
Because I remember my parents, my grandmother, my grandparents used to tell us about that and how they didn't trust certain vaccines.
Yep.
So sometimes it now becomes generational, because now this is coming down for a long time. Yet, and still, mom was still got us vaccinated and everything else when we were younger, but there was still that hesitancy. And thankfully now, I know in my immediate circle and even my wider circle of friends, we don't have that mistrust. But I think just about the majority of us now are vaccinated. So how do we sway that distrust in these communities and get that hesitancy away from there so we can get these people vaccinated? Like, that's the main thing I always hear. Well, you remember what they did with the Tuskegee experiment?
Excellent. That's the honestly, that's the most important question out of everything we talked about, Brother Lee.
It really is, because the most important thing that you can do is reach out to your family and friends who already love you and trust you. If you've had the vaccine, if you believe in the vaccines, approach them with respect and patience. Listen to what their objections are. Build that empathy, because listening to somebody actually builds trust. And if you're talking to your family and friends, presumably you already have trust.
Yes.
It is, science denial is not just about the denial of facts. It's about caring. And I think overcoming science denial is also about caring. It's about enlarging our community to the point where we really do see somebody like that guy that you've got on the screen right now as our brother, somebody who needs to be, brought back onto the side of science, where that man is miserable. He's not happy.
Yeah.
He's distrustful. He's a conspiracy theorist. He thinks that everybody is against him and trying to take something away from him. And that is that's a horrible place to be. So I would say start in the community of people that you love and trust, and who love and trust you, and try to get them to
Whew.
see the light. That is the best possible thing. I taught bioethics. I understand, going back to, he mentioned Nuremberg. I mean, going back to the Nazi era, the exploitation that has occurred with human populations, throughout history. It is around medical issues. It can, it is, you put your finger on it. It's generational, that, distrust. We overcome distrust through engagement and community and love.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As much as I want to unpack more about the wizard behind the curtain, the financial interest, that is my lane. James has posed the most important question, and thank you for that very specific answer. We have to talk to our neighbors, and that means we can't just, James, we just can't laugh and call them dumb, even though those clips were really dumb as hell, bro. Those clips were like a mess, but we have to have conversations.
This is almost goes back similarly to that argument of science versus how can I say this? Science versus reality, or people's thought process of, I hate to say it like this, but the best way to say it is, let's look at the creation in the Bible. How you say God created the heaven and the earth, but science
my
says
wheelhouse.
something completely different.
Oh, nah, you in good company, brother. That's my wheelhouse. What I teach my kids, because I don't have time for the root of mysticism and magic to control the potential of humanity's potential through science. So I teach my kids every night. I don't care if it was Let There Be or the Big Bang, something started and we're here and we got to survive. And our survival instinct is telling me to get the vaccine. Brother Lee McIntyre.
Absolutely.
We got to bring you back whenever you're available. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for the invitation.
The pleasure was ours. DJ exclusive, James, it's in your hands. Coming up next, Like It or Not, with the Rebecca Azor.
Lee, thank you so much for joining us, y'all. Make sure you check out that book, How to Talk to a Science Denier by Lee McIntyre. Please make sure you check out that book. Lee, thank you so much again for joining us this morning. Awesome conversation. It is one that needs to be had, man. Drop the music down a little bit. We have to make sure that we get in the ears of those people, man. Any of your friends, let's start locally. Start with your friends, your family, anyone that has that hesitancy to get the vaccine. Talk to them. See what their hesitancy is. As a matter of fact, why don't you share some of that information with us? It'll be good to hear and see some of what's going on. Let's find out. Let's see what we can do. Let's get these vaccine numbers up, man, because I'm sick of being in the house, but I'm going to stay my ass in the house until at least it's 50% better. And right now, it ain't nowhere near that. So, hey, we in the house, y'all. Good morning again, y'all. Shout out to everybody this morning. Make sure that you hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, man. Good morning again, Mama and Daddy. I love you, Mom and Dad. Good morning, and good morning, Q. Hope y'all have a good morning, y'all. Welcome, everybody. Good morning.
Sweet Jesus, I just up the price for the features. I can see the fakes and the leeches. I begin to assist a fetus. Pull up at the spot, tire square. Got it in my passenger, I told her grab the wheel. Friends ain't
Jonathan Guerrero, man, I hate to hear that. Jonathan Guerrero said they're delusional. My anti-vaxxer mom and siblings think Jesus will save me. Oh my gosh, I had to drop the music down for that one. Now, I think that is the conversation that needs to be had is with the Christians or the religion people, because that is a lot of rhetoric that is going on, is that I have God and Jesus to defend me and he's going to save me. Yeah, God and Jesus also said, hey, here's the vaccine that I created for you and I helped create for you, so let's go ahead and take it. But the other Christians are going to be like, you know what? He didn't put it in there for me, so I'm not going to take it and I'm just going to die. Don't want to do that, man. Y'all do not want to do that.
I had to pull myself up to say amen. Now let the beat build.
Right, Brother Ben. And in that case, then, what we're going to do for my brother Ben, because he came on the screen like that, oh, man, we going to play his song. Brother Ben, for you, sir. But man, talk to your family, talk to your friends. Let's see what the information is. See what's the hesitancy. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we get in their ear, get in their minds, get in their thoughts. And let's see if we can change that song, y'all. Okay, good morning, everybody. drink this coffee because, well, I feel like it's in my spirit this morning. Ooh.
Child from the turf. I never switch sides. Like even when I die, I'ma ride for the squad. Let up ties in the hearse. I've been on the vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I'm never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rap. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, do that ass survive, doing 80 to the house. Then I hit her to the sky, change haters on a tirade. Talking to the crib in the face, be still, let that hate stuff fade. We all with the same.
Mark from Australia, that is awesome. Mark, I just want to ask you, Mark, because I know sometimes it is not, sometimes it's at the choice of you. But let me ask you, Mark, in Australia, when was the vaccine made available to you guys? I would love to hear that from other countries. All my people from overseas, when was the vaccine made available to you guys, and how long has it taken for you guys to get it? And did they put any stipulations on it? I would love to see that. Let's drop those chats, man. Appreciate y'all. My dog said, burn it down, sage, and keep them demons away. Amen to that.
Do it at me, old man, trying to pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see that. And he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard enough, give me space for I murder y'all.
Oh man, when I'm
here, I'ma curve them all, 12 missed calls, and
thank
I
you,
still
David.
made a curtain call. Here to light it up, lighten up. Hear him talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang sets, I just bang on the set list. Going past supper when I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers, I might put you on the guest list.
I like it.
Gold in my soul, got the same on the necklace.
All right, y'all. Let me get my roll call out this morning. I forgot to say hey to my people, man. I've been going ahead and just doing everything, freestyling, doing everything, man. I've been trying to light it up and talking some good conversation and everything. All right, good morning, family. Good morning, Leslie K. I start from the bottom. KFZ 24/7, 6 Dragon Daddy. What's going on, brother? Afraid not, brother. Mark S. Tiger. So fun. Good morning, Ferret Latif. What's going on, brother? Chuck Diesel. Good morning, brother Chuck. Keegan, good morning. Savage Sweetheart, good morning. Sister the Pioneer, FBI Flawed Dragon, Roll the Dragon, Nat A. Shay, Jonathan Jones, good morning. Courtney the SLP, Anastasia, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Esther Sunny, good morning. Got you, Courtney. Mark from Australia, good morning to you. Progressive Hill, good morning. Sylvia Jones, Michael 147. Susan, good morning. I know I'm missing a lot of y'all. I got to scroll all the way back up. I'm getting there. Theoretical Dragon, good morning. Jeremiah, good morning. If anybody I missed. Melanie Dennis, good morning. If I missed y'all, make sure y'all hit me up and let me know. Sophia Williams, good morning. Anna Lady 247, good morning to all of y'all. Good shout out to the family, man. Anybody that's checking us out, man. Make sure that you stay tuned. We got some good stuff coming up. Rebecca Azor should be joining us. Oh, Rebecca's here. We'll get started soon, y'all. Anyway, we tell that people that don't want the vaccine, I'm too fly. I need my vaccine. I like to stay out on these streets with my mask on. God dang it. Anastasia, good morning. Anastasia, that was Earth Lighted Up by Xavier Roussan. That is one of the new favorites.
But every part of my body.
Progressive Hill, Xavier Roussan. Xavier Roussan. Xavyrusan.
Yeah, come a little bit closer. Yeah, you're a little bit crazy. It's been days, but you never.
Alicia, good morning. You beat me to it, dang. Alicia, good morning, sister. Oh my gosh, David. It's oh my gosh. We got a patron party tomorrow, don't we? I think we do have a patron party tomorrow. Don't forget y'all, patron party tomorrow night. Patron party tomorrow night. So make sure you have your face in the face. It's gonna go down, y'all. Jonathan, good morning to you. Good morning. Hopefully Savage Sweetheart is gonna join us. She wasn't there at the last one. She missed a good one too.
You get mad every time you lose. You can't take me with you.
On and on, Dragon. Good morning to you.
Come a little bit closer. Yeah, I can really start over. Yeah, in the back of my mind, there's someone waiting on me. You're just wasting my time because you're scared and lonely. Finally got some closure. Yeah, I can finally start over. Yeah, to all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly. I'm too fly. Bye-bye. 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 Here's to the memories.
Brother Goku, good morning to you.
Used to be. Your friend said that you left me. I'm glad that's what you
Feared, I already know, Feared. Good morning to you, Feared.
all my ladies who got a
Come on, you better bring them raisins with the potato salad, 7 sweetheart. We ain't gonna eat it, but okay. Mark Rattler, good morning, good morning. Mark S, good morning. All right, y'all, I think it's time for the time. David's so petty. All right, y'all, like it or not, is about to go down. David, roll that intro, man. Like it or not, it's about to go down.
Like it or not, with Benjamin Dixon, starts now.
Good morning, good morning.
Oh, I am so out of frame.
Ooh, it was blurry.
Blurry. That's that FAMU, that hell wild.
I wasn't
Hey,
blurry.
Ben,
it was literally
so
on my
blurry that I thought her shirt was that. You remember the marching band shirt we used to have that was slanted? I'm about to go get the shirt because I actually still have it.
It looks just like it,
bro. That's exactly what I thought it was. Okay, David, take me down real quick.
Wildcat. We love you, Rebecca. Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. But it doesn't, every time you guys say "Hail Wildcats," I cringe for you because it's just like it's very embarrassing.
You would,
like,
wouldn't you?
I don't know any Wildcats that really like. Let me stop before I take it somewhere it doesn't.
You're literally on the network of one of the banging his ass Wildcats. But I digress.
The only reason why this show will be nothing without me. One of the most. Look at the color. Like we got orange in the like. Why do you think that was just on purpose?
Put up the t-shirt she got, James. She up here talking cash money.
I know she is.
Look at Rebecca's t-shirt.
That's why I'm like, wait a damn minute. Oh, now you're watching Wildcat, sis?
Yeah, it looks nothing like that.
Oh,
it looks nothing.
James,
like
you
that.
and I said the same thing. She denied. She denied.
Nothing
She's
like
a science denier. She is a science denier.
I'm a
denying the truth.
It looks nothing
because
like
the two of us saw it.
The first thing we saw.
I'm actually sorry that you had to wear that t-shirt. Okay, it looks nothing like that t-shirt.
But we love FAMU. Shout out to FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. They're starting their season in the SWAC for the first time in the history. So too bad for the MEAC because I mean shout out to Howard. They not good. They still got a lot.
They're non-existent now. I think they officially disbanded. Like literally, I think so for real.
The MEAC? No, for real. I thought you were joking.
I think so.
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken, I think all the MEAC schools now are either SWAC or the other conference. But
what the hell happened to the MEAC? God,
man,
they done took us out of all of the on Facebook. They done invited everybody to move over to the SWAC Facebook group because they were like, "Yeah, we're out of this. Get us out."
Can y'all send me an invite?
Get us out of here.
We left.
Can y'all send me an invite, please?
They were, okay, I'll send you an invite. They were making all these rude statements upon leaving. They were like, "F this, ain't nobody trying to be in this anyway. We on SWAC." Man, we were at SWAC. It was just really.
You know what? We're being so clearly for those of you who are like, what the hell are they talking about? Look up HBCUs and our football divisions because it is as natural to us as any other conversation. That said, shout out to the SWAC, Alcorn State University. Shout out to that school. It was the first school that I ever saw drum majors marching down the streets of Brookhaven, Mississippi back in the 80s. I don't remember something. I don't know what year it was, but I know I saw them brothers come through high stepping. But listen, we'll talk about that more in the after party. We're going to talk about HBCU rivalries and all that a little bit more after we get through covering some news, because we still got Rebecca. Yeah, it's crazy out in these streets.
It's crazy. What happened in the streets? Did I miss something?
you know the street. I set that up for you to knock it down.
Conversation like I do every morning. I didn't know. I didn't know. Today I'm a little
Be like, the inner monologue. Be the inner monologue of what did your job do wrong to you today? Since you put putting all your business out there. Let's use it for the workers of the world united.
I always do, but they haven't really done anything to me today. I pray that they don't call me today, because I really want to do a little bit more work for the Haiti relief. They're looking for volunteers, and I would love to take today to volunteer. And so I've been, trying to get other folks locally to volunteer. We have different places. If people have businesses that they would like to be a drop-off location locally here in Atlanta, if you want to volunteer, they're volunteering Monday through Fridays, I believe, from the hours of 8 to 5, and on Saturdays from like 11 to 7, or it's vice versa. But the ATL for relief, or ATL for Haiti, ATL for Haiti, which is the organization that's straight out of Haiti that has a legacy center here in East Point, Georgia, where y'all at. They actually are looking for people to assist them in putting in, first of all, let me say this. They need more stuff. Thank you guys who did donate. I added that to what I already had. And I went to the store yesterday. And for you who donated little to big, I made sure that your donation counted. The ones who sent me donations to my Cash App, I made sure that those counted. And
you got pictures. You got
I got
receipts.
Pictures. I did send them to David.
Filibuster.
Okay.
Filibuster.
Well, no, we'll grab those. We can do those. We'll do those photos also. Go ahead.
I say that to say that, there's the bins aren't filled. We have what we call dooms. Haitians call dooms, and they're these big, either blue or sometimes gray. Okay. Where you fill them up with clothes or whatever. And we have so many, and those things are very expensive. And a lot of Haitians households will have them, and we'll fill them up over the year and send them off to Haiti to our family members. But they have so many that are still empty. And I really would love if we can just push out there and continue to get some stuff out there. If we do have the list, we can put that out there somewhere during the show as well, because there's so much that needs to be given. I know that there are a lot of people doing the work, but it's just like we have these bins that need to be filled. Some people are dropping off crates of stuff, not for people to do the challenge. There's actually things inside of the crates.
Oh, wow.
That can assist. You
have to collect. Yes, so they're not milk crates for the challenge.
Yes, and then it needs to be clear. And then Haitian kids done saw it on TikTok, y'all. Oh, and they done used old gasoline, and they piled them up and they walked on them. Haitians.
Wait. They take gasoline containers?
Like they're old gasoline containers.
Oh my God.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Carrie Venus, who sent us a $50 super chat, Carrie. Thank you so much, Carrie, for that super chat.
Thank you so much, Carrie.
We're gonna get we're gonna pay bills with that. Because Rebecca, you owe us crab legs still,
but the crab legs are coming from me. If you guys are sending anything for Haiti,
your donations go to what they're designed for, which is why we have video.
Yeah. So
photos of all of the donations that were given to you, because you went above and beyond, not only with what they gave you, but you went into some of your own resources to do the work that you're talking about needs to be done for Haiti.
So we worked together. So, the people who did donate, we worked together. Thank you so much. I made sure ATL for Haiti actually gave y'all a shout out too. So,
Nice.
because you guys are my supporters, and you guys ride for me and I ride for y'all. You know what I mean? So, they definitely gave you guys a thank you. And if you guys want to continue to support, you can. If you want to, like I said, you can go straight to the ATL for Haiti Instagram page,
Yeah.
or I've retweeted it all over my my Twitter as well. Or you can cash at me, because since I'm here locally, I go make sure we get the things that we need, and then go to either the Legacy Center, or they have drop-off locations. So wherever I'm at the time, I just go to the drop-off location. Yesterday, I was in Powder Springs. The day before, I was in Marietta, and I was in East Point the day before. So I've been out here doing the work doing the work.
And I'm mad she was in East Point and she ain't even hit me up. That's okay though.
I told you, let me get let me get another few
ATL
days
shouty.
so I can make sure that I'm not all up in y'all system. So
we about to be Haitian as heck around
backpack-
here. Oh my god.
So I got some backpacks. I got like 10 backpacks that I saw you can fill. I got about 10 umbrellas that I had to check out and make sure they was good. This is the first place I went and got some pads, some plastic plates, some plastic cups. I went to 2 places and I filled up the carts with that. I got 2 cases of these are flashlights. I got 2 cases of 36 flashlights. I got hydrogen peroxide, lots of toothpaste. I got what are they called? Reusable bottles. Reusable water bottles are very important. More pads, more panty liners, soap, hypoallergenic soap, and then I got more plastic plates, like Rubbermaid, so that they can save their food if they have it. And most importantly, a tent. And most importantly, it's those water bottles, because they're going to need them. I searched everywhere high and low for first aid kits as well. I searched everywhere high and low so that I can get the tablets, but I cannot find the tablets at all that purify the water.
Okay.
The water purification tablets right near me. So I'm going to go out on a search again to do it. If I can't find it, I'm going to order.
Let me ask you, where have you been looking for the water purification tablets?
So I've been going to, and I might be not in the right areas, but I've been going to like Walmart, where I live, Target. Right. I've been going
Can I go ahead, James? Good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say probably a sporting goods store like Dick's.
Okay.
What's the other one? I think there's it may be an REI in your area, like one of those outdoor shops. They should have those. They have those available, so you can get them.
Okay, because I want to buy a lot of those
too,
to make sure they can put in those water bottles. And it's important to have the water bottles that are reusable. If you guys are going to send in, the flashlights are very important as well. I'm looking for some puff lights, the solar lights, so that they can put in the ground near their tents. So I went to go find those, and those are pretty much sold out. So hopefully I can get to somewhere today. If I'm off of work today and you guys decide to send hashtag or cash tag Becca's Voice on Cash App, I'm going to be in the streets anyway. Hopefully my job doesn't call me and tell me that my computer is ready, because that's what I plan to do.
And you just tell all your business, Rebecca.
And I also
you do know the people. Wait, Rebecca Azor. I let you, you come on, and I don't let you because you do what you want to do, but we created a space for you to come in and say anything that you want, and you constantly telling your boss what you doing off hours.
I mean, it is what it is, because
it is.
Like, I'm not going to be on their time, because I have to get into my car. They don't pay for my gas, but I have to get into my vehicle and go and pick it up. So they're going to have to be on my time. Like, they have me waiting with no time to come in or not come in. I don't even want to be in the building. So I think that me going to do things for my people, and my brother's going to be in Haiti on Friday. We've already sent lots of stuff to our family, particularly. So anything that you guys send, through Cash App is going to go straight to the Legacy Center. Every single dime, every dollar, everything. It's going to go straight to the Legacy Center. And I'll be at the Legacy Center again this weekend, making sure that we get stuff done.
And Rebecca, do us a favor and hang on to all those receipts, because whatever you have given, we're going to find people to match it. So hang on to all your receipts that you've done so far, and whatever you spent as an individual, and whatever the people from our audience have sent you, we're going to find individuals who are going to match it dollar for dollar, and we're going to make sure that there's no empty, what do they call?
Dooms. I don't know how to say them in English.
Barrels.
I would
The
love
barrels.
barrels. That's exactly what they're called. Freaking barrels. Why did I know that?
Because I want for dual reasons. I want people to understand that anything and everything that we do is with the highest of integrity, just like she comes from the highest.
The highest
of seven hills.
Ain't no hills there, but okay.
Florida.
Ain't no.
We sit on the highest of 7 hills of Tallahassee. Okay, Florida. Stop playing. Stop. Okay.
What's up then?
What's up?
What up? What y'all want? What y'all got?
Nowhere in the corner, God knows, deserted island. Let's say that's deserted.
The world's hailing from the world's most famous beach.
Sunshine
The world's
very different
most
on
famous
Bethune-Cookman.
Wait a minute. How the hell did I give you a compliment for FAMU? I said the highest of 7 hills. The analog was the highest of integrity, and now she ripping our roots out, man. Come on,
because
Rebecca.
the one at the bottom always trying to just chime in wrong. Get that out of here. My shirt says, "Who needs a man when you've got chocolate?"
Right.
Never mind. Who needs a man? You can find those men at Bethune-Cookman. Ask my wife about it. I found my wife at FAMU. So hey, it is what it is.
I guess the good women come from FAMU, and the good men go to.
Well, shout out to my sisters from Bethune-Cookman because y'all held it down.
I didn't come out
in the interim. I digress. Rebecca, what kind of clip we got? David, matter of fact, maybe you should jump in and tell us what this first clip is.
I can't be on the voice.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's okay. A white man just popped up into our conversation. It's totally fine. Go, David.
Oh, there's a video that says Black people will never be lonely. There's always a white person in the back.
If I don't have it today, I have it for you tomorrow. But I can't have it today.
David, I got thought that with a nap just when you popped in.
We're gonna save the rest of that conversation for the after party. I need to make sure not everybody is watching for that conversation.
I just don't know if I have it for today's after party, but I got it for sure. All right.
Tomorrow,
just to end the COVID discussion, we got something I think you'll get a kick out of. Unfortunately, it is a white man, but it's a white man acting crazy.
David, it's
a white man acting crazy. So, hold on.
That's our forte.
James Akers. I'm a 15-year resident of Dripping Springs. I've put 3 kids through Dripping Springs. I have 1 more in high school right now. I'm here to say that I do not like government or any other entity, just ask my wife, telling me what to do. But sometimes I got to push the envelope a little bit, and I just decided that I'm going to not just talk about it, but I'm going to walk the walk. At work, they make me wear this jacket. I hate it. They make me wear this shirt and tie. I hate it.
Drop low third.
On the way over here, I ran 3 stop signs and 4 red lights. I almost killed somebody out there. But by God, it's my roads too. So I have every right to drive as fast as I want to, make the turns that I want to. I got over here to the school today and the parking lot's full, and I decided I was going to park wherever the hell I want to, which in this case happened to be a handicap. But I really hate my code. So we follow certain rules. We follow certain rules for a very good reason.
Mr. Akers, I understand. I believe you're a swimmer, but if you would mind putting your pants back on for a comment, that would be appreciated.
What? Did he just fist bump the cop?
What's happening? Please tell me something with the truth. I don't know.
Run the B-roll. Run the B-roll of that continuously, please. David, what is happening in this clip? David, you're on mute, man.
You're mute.
Like we're just waiting for the white man to speak. Come on.
Sorry about that.
Always.
He's a pro-masker. He's in favor of masks, and he was making a point that you can't just do whatever the hell you want in society. So he was stripping down, saying, I almost killed people. I drove through stop signs. I don't want to wear clothing. He was making the point of the idiocy of these people that refuse to wear masks.
He couldn't have been like.
I guess you guys.
He was doing the most.
Fine.
He was. I appreciate. At least he was on our side. I guess. Rebecca. I don't know.
He could have been 6'4".
Rebecca's making a face like, ew. What's that?
spot on,
just
white and
needed
old.
to.
Thank you, David.
I wasn't. Thank you, David, for your efforts.
Okay, fine.
Love you, mean it, but I just was trying to understand. See, this is when I say white folks be white folking. This right here is just. I tried my best to understand what was happening. I'm like, so did he really drive through stop signs? Did he really do those things? And is he getting naked because he wants to continuously do those things? I wasn't following along, but thank you for the context, David. I know you know your folks and you know how to decode it.
Somebody in the chat talking about he made his point and they put the eggplant emojis.
This is crazy. And then
you see the lady compliment him. Oh, I know you're a swimmer.
Oh, I heard her say that, and I said,
like,
well, that's.
I know you're a swimmer. Huh?
I see what you hanging with. Now listen. David.
Why did we start? You should have saved this one for the after party. What's the next party? What's the next clip, David?
Though that we have to I said that white people, they do good things too. I couldn't understand this, but it was for the white man to come and decode it for us. So if he's making a point for people to wear their mask, then
we'll accept it.
There are more ways to be radical, and this is the way he said he was going to express his radicalism.
We need some wild ass white folks on our side. Let's put it like that. We definitely need some wild ass white folks who would get out there and put their bodies at risk, not necessarily exposing your body, mind you, but who put yourselves on the line to help fight back against this idiocy. Because my God, the only thing that's more absurd than this guy in this video are all the people who are making the conditions for him to have to make this kind of statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the nicest way I can put. All right, what you got next, David?
We got two other non-COVID clips, but I do want to play this one because I want your thoughts on this one. This is about a vaccine scam.
COVID on the rise and the vaccine readily available, more and more businesses are requiring their employees be vaccinated. And to prove that, they need a vaccination card. Now, this is a problem for people who don't want to be vaccinated, and there's some people out there who are turning this into a business opportunity. Meet 5-star Jazzy. She has over 300,000 followers on Instagram and quite a few hustles. You'll notice in her description, founder of Anti-Vax Mama 2. Yeah, that's because Anti-Vax Mama, her original account, got deleted, and I suspect it's because she posted stuff like this. Advertising that she's selling fake COVID-19 vaccine cards for $200 a pop, but they'll have real lot numbers on them. Now she's continuing this from her new account and even from her main account. She posted this the other day explaining that she has a backlog of messages and also that she's looking to expand her team. So if you have computer access at hospitals or CVS, DM me ASAP. Now that led me to believe that she's either stealing existing lot numbers and putting them on the cards, or she's getting someone to enter people into the system that haven't been vaccinated to generate their own lot numbers. But I didn't want to make assumptions, so I decided to message her and ask. I told her I work at a Walgreens. She said to text her ASAP. She asked if I had access to enter the vaccine information into the system, and then asked because I'm in Florida, how do people verify here that they're in the system? Because in New York, they have an app. And the person she has in New York doing this can provide the numbers that the people can check in the app. I explained in Florida we have a site you can do that on and asked what exactly she needed. She told me she provides the person's name, date of birth, address, the vaccination date, asked if I can backdate them, and then has me enter them into the system to generate lot numbers. So I would enter them in the system as if they had just received the vaccine, which they have not. But the system would believe that they have. And if someone checked those lot numbers, it would say their name. That made me curious how many people were doing this. She told me the woman in New York that's doing it for her, she's given $100 a person. She's doing at least 30 people a day. And that woman's making $10,000 a week. Do the math on that. On how many people are walking around with legal documents saying they're vaccinated, and they are not. She also asked if I could provide her COVID-19 cards. Now you may ask, why would someone take the risk and do something like this? Well, it seems in her case it's at least due in part to the fact that she believes that the vaccines are sterilizing children as part of the gay agenda. Now, she's not going to be doing this any longer. The FBI's already been involved. But when I hear people say things like, why bother getting the vaccine? People are getting COVID who are fully vaccinated. I have to wonder, are they?
Right. I was just about to say, that brings up a whole nother situation right there. Because now we got people saying that they're fully vaccinated. That may explain some of these people that's getting the disease or getting COVID and they're not really vaccinated at all.
Look at the levels to which they go to make that 10 G's a week, which, come on, folks, that sounds pretty good.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah,
10
goddamn.
G's a week.
Damn. Okay, so no wonder.
fake card.
Sign me up. I'm just kidding.
No,
Right.
Rebecca, no. We're gonna keep you on the light side.
Kidding. I was kidding. So look, I had to say it short so that
Stay
nobody
away
cut
from
it.
the dark side.
Nobody cut it and then go put it out there and say Rebecca she says no.
But that money talks though.
But money does talk, and that's why. But she's on Instagram promoting this full-fledged out there, mom of two. And this is the hustles that people do and be like, we can't knock the hustles. We can't knock the hustle. We can definitely knock the hustle, especially if it's something that will hurt people, leave people dead, and take our numbers and confuse them, because we're trying to get out of this thing. And you're part of the issue in so many ways. Not only are you part of the issue of people who are anti-maskers or putting up the conversation that this is part of a gay agenda, or putting up with the conversation that's saying this is part of an anti-Christian agenda, or this is part of whatever. Not only is it that, it's also the fact that you have the blood on your hands, right? You have the blood on your hands of people who can possibly die. Also, you're putting other people at risk when they're walking into places that require only people to be vaccinated to be in the room. Yet these people are getting sick and going home and taking it to their families and friends because they thought everybody in this room was vaccinated. Nobody said that you cannot get COVID since you're vaccinated. But now we don't even know what the truth is about the numbers. We don't even know because you guys are out here playing.
Because let me tell you, Rebecca, can I interject real quick? Because if you're telling me that opportunity exists for so many other people, we really do have to ask the question, how many people are vaccinated? Because let me tell you, if somebody can make a potential of $10,000 a week, you don't think that in a country that rewards Jeff Bezos going to space, you don't think these people gonna get out here and hustle and have no regard for the life of the person that they killed? You don't have any regard for them on their job.
And y'all, what's troubling though, and I always thought this, first of all, they give you this card and it needs to be a better system. The only thing that they do once you get the tray with the vaccines, they write the number down off that tray and they give you this paper card. Nothing is going in a system yet that I've seen. They only give it to you. So That's right. My thing is, you showing this card, man, anybody can write on this damn card. Y'all, let's be honest about it. That vaccine card is really, to me, it's a joke. You want to see proof of vaccination? Y'all are just looking at the card, man. I could have wrote on this shit myself.
But it's a joke, James, because you have this part that's always going to be there. And you're right. They should have. Why did not we anticipate, everybody? I think that's what our guest was saying in the last interview, that they were going to pull this. That there was going to be money in this. That people were going to make. I mean, Rebecca, you pointed out the most important part. She's advertising this. She's jumping in people's DMs talking about this. That's a level of cavalierness I did not expect.
It pushes things to the. I don't even know how this is. This is the PPP loan of COVID vaccine cards. This is a hustle that does not make any sense. But money talks for people. We don't care about the lives of people. We don't care about who we're hurting in this particular case. I don't really care when y'all taking from the government because the government then took so much from us. But in this particular case, you're taking people's lives.
Speak, Queen.
You're taking people's lives, okay? And the fact that you're taking steps and furthering yourself so that you can feed your kids, right? But you're what's at your hands? The blood.
What Biggie say? He was just trying to feed his daughter in front of his apartment, man.
Listen, now this ain't it. I get when you out there in front of your house, doing what needs to be done, but nobody's really weed don't kill people.
Listen, I didn't kill anybody when I was bootlegging Tyler Perry DVDs.
Were you selling them?
Ben,
were you selling them, Ben?
Ben was funny as hell, Ben. Bro, I was a bootlegger my damn self, bro.
I used to be the person that they came to burn CDs. And
you did too,
illegally off of LimeWire and on my daddy's computer, and I would give it every disease imaginable.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Oh, you gave your dad. Oh, how many computers have I sacrificed on the altar of peer-to-peer distribution? Go ahead, James.
Yeah, LimeWire and damn Napster, bro. You could mess my computer up in porn.
Morpheus, Morpheus, bro.
Morpheus.
I still got stuff on my iPod video from circa 2005. What are you talking about, man?
You said
that
iPod
that we didn't know that at the time that didn't have no screen on it, so you didn't know what the playlist was really on your.
Yeah.
Do you not remember that? Like, listen, we were out here. We were out here on your Windows computer that had the one damn song from what's that group name? U2. Oh, it's such a beautiful day. Why do I know that song? Because it came with the iPod. Computer.
It came with the computer.
The computer with the booty in the back.
Oh no, I'm not. No, Rebecca, we're gonna go above your pay grade here.
Oh,
James,
God.
GeoCities. Remember GeoCities? Remember that was the first the dial-up internet. See, we're old enough to remember dial-up.
Okay. So I'm on AOL because AOL was the only one that with the dial-up that I knew because they would give you the free. You thought it was just a free day, but it started working out for like a good 6 months to a year. You was using the same CD over and over and over and over again until they sent you a new one.
And I'm gonna go further back for you. Rebecca probably don't remember this, Ben. Do you remember the real first social media besides MySpace?
Black Voices, baby.
Black Planet.
College Club.
Yeah, I don't know College Club. I was just
exactly. College Club was literally the first Facebook. That was like literally the first Facebook.
Oh man. No, I remember. Listen. I'm old enough to have been suspicious of the internet and not just follow up on anybody's links because people, I used to get somebody. I had this one after party. Story in the after party. Okay, what we got, David?
Ooh, this next one.
You're on mute, bro.
Man, this multitasking, I feel Dwayne's pain every single day. So two more things. Yesterday, Rebecca made a mention of OnlyFans. There's been a change.
There's been a change.
It was kind of predictable, but there's been a change. Here we go.
After outcry and backlash from sex workers and allies, OnlyFans says it was only kidding. The platform has dropped plans to ban sexually explicit content from its service, less than a week after the company had announced the change. OnlyFans founder and CEO Tim Stokely put the blame for the ban on banks, saying banking companies had refused service because of the reputational risk associated with the sexual content. On Wednesday, the company said it, quote, secured assurances necessary to support our diverse creator community.
Okay, listen, I gotta jump in there first.
I know porn sites get backed by whatever they need to get backed by. So I don't believe that OnlyFans, that was the issue. I think they wanted to remove themselves from that themselves. Like they wanted to strictly.
Oh, they want to go clean.
They want to go clean. But when they saw that it was messing with their money, when they did the numbers, they were like, who we're gonna blame it on? Who we're gonna blame it on? The banks. The banks
backlash
from allowing us to do what we need to do.
Yeah, because when I tell y'all, all these millions of content creators, all these millions of content creators on that platform, and they get so much of a percentage off
of what they do.
And then pause it here. I don't want to move from this white man. Go ahead, Dave.
Right.
James.
And the percentage that they get off of every subscription from that, man, do you know the amount of money they was about to lose? And you want to blame it on the banks? Come on, bro. I think the fans and the creators are paying your bills, so you shouldn't have to worry about what the banks think, bro. You good, honestly, truly.
Yeah,
he could be his own bank. He has commodified. He has commodified the sexual content creators. Fair. Y'all tell me why. Tell me why a white. Excuse me. Sorry, white folks. Love you, mean it. But when you think about sex work in this country, why is it a man? Why is it a man that is the CEO of a company that is built on the backs of the sex work of women? Black women. Come on, Rebecca.
Yeah, he is giving smoky eye right here. A very handsome man, very clean. I like the way he wears the suit. So just wanted to get that out there. I don't think a lot of CEOs of their companies give.
That's a sharp shoot. You can roll it back now. That's good. That was a good look right there. Before that,
Jimmy Neutron in that particular picture behind this, right there.
That's a sharp shoot. Yeah, I like that.
Neutron. That's cute.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay. But anyway, I say all that to say, yes, they wanted to go clean, right? They wanted to be able to diversify the content, but the content was already diversified. It wasn't only that you have to make an OnlyFans to do sex work or show sexual content, but that's what was making them the money. You actually just can make an OnlyFans because you want to put your exclusive content on there that you're not going to put anywhere else, kind of like a Patreon account. That's what you just where you go to OnlyFans. People just automatically were like, listen, if I want to show some ass and titties, take it to OnlyFans.
Rebecca, we still public, sis.
Ass and titties is not a curse word. Ass is in the Bible.
Hey, listen, we try. Hey, we got to take our how to reach the masses, men of every whatever the song is. I forget. Listen, but I have a proposition. Here. Dang, I hate to say these kind of things out loud on air, but I recommend only bands. BANDS, only bands where you bringing stacks to the sisters who running that platform. Some sex worker get out there and start only bands. Let it be run by actual sex workers, financed by y'all words. Strippers of the world unite. It should not be. I'm sorry. It needs to look like the person. You need to own your own labor, even in sex work. I'm sorry. No pimps around here. Bless the wonderful name of Jesus. Let's go to a break.
He's a white pimp. Let's take it to a break. Let's definitely take it to a break.
I felt the anointing on that one. Y'all get out of here, Jay.
Get us off screen, David.
David, I'm about to get canceled.
James, you muted. James, you're muted.
Sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me, no. I know it's hard to be polite, and it's easy being petty. My mama used to tell me, gotta use you when you ready. Man, it's crazy how my brother said it could have been my cell. It's either prison or a grave, that's what everybody tell me. Man, life ain't a beach, it's a female dog. I'm staying 10 toes down low, I still might fall. Oh yeah, now I done came through, knocking pictures off your walls. Loving people who persecute you, it's still a tough light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith's strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel like disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No.
Okay, God dang it, man. This stupid microphone, boy, be getting my ass every time. So I had to restart the browser and everything. Okay, there we go. Now we can hear. Now I can hear y'all. I missed everything that Ben and Rebecca said in the last couple of minutes. Can hear nothing. Hey, y'all, make sure that y'all hit that like button, man. Hit the like button, Share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to everybody that's on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you streaming from. Y'all make sure that you stay tuned, okay?
But my flesh still kind of weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel like disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me.
This Dragon Daddy said, where's our Bubba OnlyFans? Not no more.
No, it just can't hurt me. No.
That's for the after party, okay? After party.
No, you just can't hurt me.
I've been approached a few times.
No.
Dragon Dang, good morning to you. AOL chat. Blue Daddy, you know you was shot out for that one.
I could really use a change of scenery. Yeah.
All right, y'all, make sure you stay. We'll be back in a momentarily, y'all. All right, I think we are ready. Gonna cover one more story, then we are going to the after party. Let's go.
It could all be worse. I could be a hater like
Tiger, I already know.
Pills to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you.
All right, y'all. Ben and Rebecca, y'all better come get me off this break. They trying to get me to do a damn OnlyFans. I'm like, I've been approached already. Y'all ain't hear me.
So I've reinvented I've kind of reinvented the Soul Train line in my family. Because I don't have enough kids to do an actual side-by-side Soul Train line. So what I do is we march through the house like a marching band, James, and we march to Earth Light 'Em Up and Still Fly by Rebel Day. So just thought I'd share that.
Really? I told y'all ain't hear me. I said, man, y'all better get me out the chat off this break because they trying to get me to do an OnlyFans. I said, I've been approached before.
To do an OnlyFans?
To do content with somebody.
Hey, after the party, it's the after party.
After
Well,
party.
I'm not. I don't want to know the details. I'm just saying, like, well, was there money involved?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We ain't stripping for free around here.
Yeah.
After party.
After the party, let's talk about Boosie one more again. Because honestly, I think the conversation was illuminating yesterday. We're gonna find brilliance no matter the ignorance. We can find something brilliant in it. I don't know what's in this next clip though. Who want to set it up?
That's exactly what it is ignorance. Because now he's posted a new video. Plot twist, everybody. Boosie made all those comments and said all of that stuff, and his whole damn manager is gay himself. David, roll that clip, please.
Roll that.
My tour manager. He take care of a lot of business with me. This Jay Cooper. He go get the money right there. People don't understand, Jay, that.
Not the soft music.
I have nothing against gay people or nothing like that. You gay. Yeah. You make half my money. I'm just misunderstood sometimes. Sometimes I just say it the wrong way.
But the gay people misunderstood.
Yeah, they be misunderstood. I got family members gay like that. Gay people have better hearts than us regular niggas. Some people understand. Mary, you understand.
Hey.
Okay.
You never disagree on Mary. Never leave Mary. Mary never disagree. Mary just pull out.
I just want to say, Boosie. Boosie, we about to drag you, bro, but we feel you, man. Let me know what strain that was. The point is, James, if I ever use you to get out of trouble to say I got gay friends and then I put some soft music behind it, bro, I need you to come and snatch my roots, man.
And then they got him in the kitchen cooking like, man, I think I just misunderstood.
Because we cook together. He's in my home together.
He's in my home with me.
We break bread together. Cornbread together.
Bro, it was a whole Lifetime channel
It was
moment.
a Lifetime movie. It was
Like,
a Hallmark.
You think the manager is gonna really
It was a
care?
Hallmark Christmas episode.
But if you think the manager's gonna really care about what the hell he got going on, like think again, because the manager's like, listen, I make him mad money.
Yeah,
and it makes me money.
Look at his face here. Look at his face here. He's like,
it's
this
nigga.
wait, we are
My bad.
FEC.
I'm kind of cramping right now too.
We are-
It's just a day for me. It's just a day for me.
You can't do it back to back 2 days in a row. We got people watching us.
I told you.
I ain't signed the contract yet, bro.
Sorry, I apologize. I'm cramping. Kind of a monster.
I got gay friends too, Boosie. I
got gay friends too,
Rebecca.
that don't look gay, right? That don't look gay. They misunderstand me, Bubba, because when I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? They be misunderstanding me, Bubba. But when I introduce you, they don't even be knowing you gay. I got family members, you know what I'm saying, that like all of that, right? To make it pass.
Yeah, I'm gay.
I didn't like that. I mean, it's like, okay, like where's the apology to the gay community and move on? Like
ain't do none of that.
You know what I'm saying?
My tour manager, he gay. Bro, I think I just misunderstood.
Wipe me
bro.
down.
God damn it, bitch.
Close the door for me, baby girl.
No, he had that little voice. My tour manager, he gay, So I just really, I got family members that's gay, man. But when you rub your hands like Birdman, it makes it better, right? When you watch it, you let me know that your hands clean when you about to cook for your gay friend.
Is we finished or is we done?
Like, it's all so crazy. Instead of just saying the apology and moving on.
I just misunderstood.
He's like, the things I got to do to get this man his check.
I just misunderstood sometimes.
I got a gay friend too.
Okay. Me too, Rebecca. A whole lot of them.
I do.
Oh, Rebecca, let me tell you about the phone call I got yesterday from Ben.
What was that phone call?
Ben was upset, man.
I was mad. I was like, bro.
Was mad,
listen.
Rebecca.
I said, listen.
You were not his type, right?
I was like, bro, listen, man. Like, no offense, bro, but
Ben took it.
like, how you want attracted to me, bro? What I gotta do? Like, damn.
Said, Ben, people are.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Listen, I punch above my pay grade. Y'all check out my wife, but damn, James, like. You weren't attracted to me all them times we hung out on the beach, bro.
I'm like, bro, you mad for real?
Ben, you gotta let things go.
I'm like,
you know,
bro,
Ben will sit back and be like, so I ain't handsome. I ain't fine.
Damn, I ain't cute.
Like, so not even like a gay man with a
I mean, and
then we get mad. Then we get mad and we start offending the person who wasn't attracted to me. Like, oh, ugly ass. You know how we do when women when women don't they reject us.
You can't. Yes, Bubba's not gonna date his twin. Like, I don't think he wants to look at another bald woman. Like,
I mean, it depends. Never mind. After party. So when he called me, okay, Ben. All right, Ben, you cute. You big headed, but mother sucker, you cute. Okay, there you go. You happy now?
That's crazy.
It's so weird.
We gotta let go. We not for everybody, right? We just not. I have
what needless pains we carry, all so that we can do the greater good for humanity.
We not. You know, I know that I'm fine. You know, I know that I'm beautiful. I mean, God bless.
Yes, Rebecca, make it about you for a few seconds.
I say this to say, not everybody's gonna be like, hey, Rebecca's I'm not for everybody. You know what I always tell you? Man. I'm too much and not enough for some people, but I know
you've updated that. You've updated. It's not that no more. What is it now?
I'm too much and just enough. But for my, for me and whoever wants me, it's okay. Right. You got to move on. Right. You're not for everybody, Ben.
No, and it's all good. It's all good. I just found it extremely apropos.
What the hell that mean?
Appropriate. It was. It was appropriate.
You telling me dog food? What's going on? Alpo? No. Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
So before we get off of this particular subject of
I hate you, James.
of Lil Boosie not having the greatest PR to get him where he needs to go.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
We have to discuss Sha'Carri, and we may not have the content to put on the screen right now, but Sha'Carri was under fire yesterday because this is what we do, and this is where I need Dwayne to be in my ear. So Sha'Carri was under fire yesterday for liking comments that were xenophobic, while also talking about or pushing back on, and I'm going to get her name, on another track and field star, a very popular track and field star who was on one of the nightly shows, who was saying they liked her, who was saying that she needs to push on and she's going to be better. She came out and put up a status of her own on social media saying, support from people over on television shows is just that. Doesn't go anywhere. There's something of that sort. So I'm going to get the particular quote exactly. But I say this to say, this is why I say that when we are like attacking people or pushing into their wounds, right? Remember, like right after that, instead of discussing the girl that won, we were stuck on Sha'Carri. Do you not think that we were building those emotions for her? She done went, and I told y'all, she done went to social media and what? Got real inflamed. Because before, when she lost or was disqualified, what did we do? We backed her up, and that helped build her. But we are also the same people who will build you up and break you down. Mm-hmm. So now all over the social internets of 2021,
Beyonce's,
they are Beyonce's internet. Let me tell you something. They are on there literally eating her alive. Okay, and the person that she spoke to was Allison Felix. And let me get the.
So help me to understand what happened. So she's now on the wrong side of things here.
Right now, she's just on an angry side, an upset side. She's back on the hurt side, and it literally didn't take long, as I told you guys, from that one interview. Everybody done ripped her apart. Jamaicans got involved. Then it started doing the diaspora and the Black American rivalry on social media. It brought that up. And then the xenophobia, but then people were going against Black Americans. It was just too much. and she got involved in the conversation by liking a couple of tweets.
Get this man. Why I don't want him on the screen. Go ahead, Rebecca. Sorry.
And then so Allison Felix, okay, she said on I'm trying to see whose show it was. Oh, Jimmy
Wheaties
Kimmel.
box. I want everybody to see right there. Wheaties box. I don't care what y'all say about this
image right
sister.
there.
She about to be on the Wheaties box. We're gonna help her. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Yeah, well, I don't want us to help her anymore because we break her down. So the people are not. We're so fickle. We say we're gonna help, we help because we helped her get on Nike. We helped her promote Donda. We helped her like become like a star on TikTok. We helped her go meet the baby at an award show. We helped to do all of that, and then we broke her down.
But you
and
know
then
what?
Well,
We
you talking about
gotta
Black
remember.
Twitter?
Go ahead, Ben. Yeah.
No, I'm saying who's the we in that? You're saying like the Black Twitter, social media in general. They built her
Social
up,
media
brought her
in general,
down.
not us on the show, but social media in general. I'm saying because I just remember like everybody being so for her, and you know, and like I said, in those particular times when we knew she felt defeated, she got on social media and all she could see is herself doing that particular interview. Oh, thank you, Jada.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
They. Oh, ain't nobody here. Ain't nobody here.
Look,
they said thank you. Thank you, babe.
Oh,
I'm on duty next. I have school in a few minutes. I have to teach my kids. Can't let the system teach my kids anymore. Go ahead, Rebecca.
So I said to say, you know, she got on social media and she got upset.
Hey, wait a minute. Where Bay at?
But Wednesday,
nobody. I just reached over and grabbed my own cup.
Babe, can you pour me up?
Babe, you give me some.
Ain't nobody. Okay, maybe it's what they're doing.
I'm sorry, Shakari. Your story is so important. Continue, Rebecca.
Okay, so anyways, Allison Felix, she went on. She was on Jimmy Kimmel, and you know, she's a track star as well. And so she went on Jimmy Kimmel to discuss it, and she said that positive things. So I'm trying to say she's obviously been through so much, she said, I hope that she's just supported. I hope that people rally around her. Obviously, she has a great personality and she's brought a lot of attention to the sport. I think she'll be in the sport for a very long time. I think just more than anything for all athletes, there's so much that goes into, you know, we just know to give her the support that she needs. It's where she stopped. And Sha'Carri wasn't feeling it. She wasn't feeling it, so she posted on her Instagram saying encouraging words on TV shows are just as real as, well, nothing at all. So, and then I just want to say, you know, I understand that you're upset. I know that you're feeling some type of way. And I know that we're not making it better for her on social media. She has to take a step away from social media right now. It's going to be her best bet to get it pushing.
That's what I was about to say. Sha'Carri's thing, and this is the downfall of Sha'Carri, you know, Carrie. You know how black people do. We say it one way, Sha'Carri.
We do, but now we're correcting folks. It's
Sha'Carri. But what needs to happen is, and this happens with a lot of the younger generation, is they're publicists. This is when you need a publicist in place that can do your social media stuff. Some people are able to handle it and do that, but Sha'Carri is one of those people that needs someone that's going to be doing that stuff for her. And only because with everything that's going on, you don't want to dig yourself further in that hole to keep going because you're human. You're going to get upset. You're going to get angry. Just like y'all see how I do when I'm reading somebody in the chat and I'm just like, what the hell you talking about, mother sucker? You don't know what you're talking about. It start going off. It's the same thing. You know, ain't nobody over here to filter me. So, you know.
That's why I be nice to James. That's why I be nice to James because James got the keys to the kingdom over here. He's got the music machine. And when the music's going, I be out there, you know, looking at the stars in the morning and James being here saying whatever he want to say. So we got to treat the DJ. Always treat the minister of music right.
I'm actually James's PR. So if anything goes down, I'll make sure, you know, we clean it up and we get and we just move on. Now, Sha'Carri needs to get some good PR because at this particular moment, she's going down in the downward spiral right now. And I get it. I want to see her on a Wheaties box too. But Ben, if she's continuously feeling defeated at this point in her life, it's not like she's gone through so much. There's no healing that has happened from that, from her doing the race, dealing with the loss of her mother, finding out through the media, then having to, thought she was going to make it. We literally lifted her up so high up because that's what we do, right? We'll lift you up on a pedestal, but we're the same people that when you make another mistake and
Well,
we not
Rebecca, can I interject? Because you keep saying we, and I know you're not talking about you because you recognize the problem that as it is done. So just for my sake, social media does that. And I
social
know
media,
the
when I
audience
say
knows
we,
that,
because
but
I'm talking about Black people on social media, and I'm a Black person. I'm on social media, and I may not be a part of that group, but when people are talking about that, that is our group of people. Like that's us out here. Like when I say it ain't only white folks that's out here anti-COVID, anti-mask, it's us out there too. And we got to hold ourselves accountable, just like Dwayne was saying, and I agree with that. Like that's why I say that's why I told you in my particular place in journalism now, I know what I wouldn't have done in that situation. I know what questions I would have asked. I know, what I was sitting down thinking to myself. I said in that particular, when I saw her walking, I would have thought of some encouraging thing. And not everybody ain't like me, but that still would have got the thought that we needed. It would have been, hey, Sha'Carri, what happened out there? And she would have been saying something that probably was hurtful, whatever. But I was like, but how are you going to come from this? Because we know how great we saw you. We saw you at the such and such meter race at such and such. How do you think you can come back from that, bringing that same energy? That would have probably encouraged her. You see what I'm saying? I know my work has changed from what it would be before. People on social media are so fickle, and I know journalists have been fickle, and I know we all can be fickle in all different kind of spaces, but it's up to us to do what needs to be done. In social media, I've saw these people say so many great things about her. I saw them say that we're going to back her as a Black woman. I saw them bring up so many amazing points about what happens with Black athletes. Then it's so funny, guys, the same people who got blue check marks by their name on social media led the Sha'Carri Richardson like beat down. Like, let's beat her down right now. I know that she's fallen, but we're not going to give her any more grace because we control that. And this is where I tell you, social media people will love to take control of where they put people, how they put people. And, I hate it. I hate that.
So people who themselves have no, let's call it a North Star. They have no Polaris that's guiding them.
It's triggering me.
They are opportunistically riding the algorithm on every controversy and every opportunity. And so when they saw Sha'Carri, her name is Carrie, extraordinary, all that stuff. When they saw that, they're like, oh, this is a good opportunity for us to ride the wave of Sha'Carri. And then they saw it went negative and they said, oh, this is a good opportunity for us to ride the negative wave of Sha'Carri. And they're just sitting there like vultures because they have no personal direction in their own life. And they don't understand how this sister, she should be mad. I don't care what nobody say, she should be, but anger really rarely ever yields positive results. So what do I do when I get in that kind of situation? Well, I cut on Star Trek. I eat some ice cream, gain weight, and I do what I got to do to survive through that period of being on the low, sis. Lay low.
And that's why
do what you got to do and come back and get on that Wheaties box because that's all I see in your
all these Black women should have been the same ones that was supporting her, should have been going behind her to encourage her. Hey, Sha'Carri, babe. I know you upset, but what we're not going to do is go with the xenophobic route. And to the Jamaicans, we're not going to go the opposite route and do the same thing to Black Americans. We're not doing that because we are the same. I understand for that girl, that Jamaican girl who did win, and I forgot her name, and I'm so sorry. But she should have been the highlight of that moment, and it was taken from her. It was taken from her by American media just so that they can highlight the fall of Sha'Carri Richardson. Everybody may fall, but we are all going to get up, and that should have been the message. And that could have been the message if they did talk to the winner. That she probably, like I said, it could have been this other way, but this anger has been infiltrated. This anger has infiltrated what she is, who she is, and who we know her to be. We're gonna mess up. We are. There are things that I've said that I'm not proud of myself, out of anger and things like that. So she did say she's human, but Sha'Carri, we gotta back down off the social media thing. I get that's where you
log off, sis.
But baby, it's time to log off because now you're showing some colors that people may not ever forgive.
Yeah, and
Well,
and
go
let's
ahead,
not
Dennis.
also forget to, and I'm sure probably people have already, and they've done it this before. The first race, I think the first few races when she was starting to like dust everybody like she was, of course everybody want to bring up the tweets from when she was younger, being very homophobic. So
Oh, they did bring that up. I mean, she was younger. It was a few
she
years
was
ago, but
younger,
she's
and
still young. But
She's
it,
19. She's
and that's what I
19.
was about to say. It's the same. It's the same thing right now. It's just like, girl, stay out the social media. And I understand having that you doing what you good at what you do, and you
She
can
about
be
to be
in
the
there
best.
and be confident, but don't be so overly cocky or to the point where you just feel that I need to go on TV and I need to say everything that I want to say. Girl, make sure that you still have that level.
You know why?
So it don't
humility,
come off weird like that.
humility in its greatest form. Life will humble you like
Life
nobody's
will
business.
humble you.
So here's the
Absolutely,
thing.
Rebecca.
We lifted her into the point where we said, "You're a superstar. Go do what you need to do. Go." And it was like, this girl needs to sit down. She needs to take a mental break. We got her out here doing red carpets. We got her out to doing all of this while somebody else has been training. Like, it's crazy. Like, let's really focus on. And I know, here's the thing. We can't get mad that somebody else won. Like, somebody won. This is a race. Like, somebody's gonna win. And I don't mind supporting that person. Like, at the end of the day, we're gonna go to who we relate to, right? A lot of people related to Sha'Carri at the time, and that was what it was. And then there's a Jamaican girl that won. A lot of Jamaican Americans, a lot of Jamaican people were proud and could not really have that moment.
That's right.
So
That's right.
remember when I was saying that they're gonna pit Black women against each other? They had no issue with each other.
Yeah.
But they had no issue. That's all I was saying. That interview was like, what happened? That moment that was captured with her hearing what Sha'Carri was saying, Sha'Carri knowing they're walking by, it just caused division. That division translated into social media, and I told you really that's where it spreads and opens up like a virus.
Like after the race, when I tell you, literally 3 or 4 minutes after the race, it was already memes on Twitter.
I know.
Like, you saw the Black Jamaican girl in the background laughing and laughing at her, like,
exactly
yo, that's not
even
how it went down.
Yes. And that's why I say we play a pivotal role in how these conversations are done. As Black media, as Black people, as Black journalists, yes, we control the narrative. We can create something different, because do you know what American media is going to do, especially with Black media, Black people, especially with Black athletes, especially with Black musicians, especially with regular Black folks from underpaid and undeserving and ungiving communities that are out there who don't get nothing. You know how they're going to make sure we are perceived. All of these things. So it's up to us. And that's why I was so frustrated on 2 days ago show, not with particularly Dr. Carl Mack, but you got to understand, we cannot do things the way we used to do it, because what happens is we put people's lives at risk. And I'm not saying what Sha'Carri did was right. It was not right to go and, do all of that. And it's not right.
What was wrong?
What was wrong? The fact that she went out there, took her anger out on a specific group of people because of who they were. We're not doing that, because that's literally what.
And that's what she did in the most recent. That's
what she did a few days ago. Yes, and that's why it went viral. Not what she said about the homophobia.
And that's where you draw the line and say, like, look,
it
like,
sis,
you got to log off.
But that's where I draw the line from not only from her even saying the comment about the track and field superstar that
right after the race.
That was trying to the woman.
Oh, okay, I'm with you now.
That was trying to definitely be there for her, and for her to automatically do a pushback. People are not against you, and that's what she's feeling right now. And I'm saying the same Black women that were having her back should do that again. Hey, Sha'Carri, we're here for you. Hey, Sha'Carri, we love you. Hey, Sha'Carri, people are not against you. You're not seeing that conversation. She's being dragged. Okay. She's being dragged all down social media. And yes, we can reprimand you. We can reprimand you with love, but remember, this is in the face of the world that's seeing this. And they saw us go here and they saw us go here. And that's exactly what the media
I know you're making a greater point, Rebecca, but I'm not in that crowd when we say we and us and our, because I see her future. I see the rest of her story. This is just an intermission.
But she has to see it too. And now,
but she's gonna see it. You know how she's gonna see it? Because she's gonna do exactly what people do when they take an L. they fall back and they gather them. She's 19. The Jamaican sister, and this is not to put the two of them against each other. I just want y'all to see the potential of how long Sha'Carri is going to be here giving people grief with her speed. The sister that won is well into her 30s, like 35, I believe. Get the age. Sha'Carri is about to dominate for the time to the foreseeable future. And she's going to overcome this hurdle just like LeBron James did, because the white media cannot handle when black folks have the arrogance of their skill set. They hate that. So Sha'Carri does need to fall back. You're right. I ain't saying nothing wrong with what you're saying. I just see part 2 of her story coming up.
And for me, Ben, absolutely. Your point, I don't really like it too much. I don't care if it was 35 and 19. Those are two black women. Like I said, I do not even like that space of the any difference of they're both runners.
But in and of herself, at 19 being as good as she is at 19.
She's gonna have time, but even in this time, she can literally make it a point where she won't do it again. So this is what I'm saying. The encouragement, the love behind her, all of that is necessary because we don't put her in a place as a 19-year-old. We don't put her in a place where it's like all of this is happening. There has been no healing done on that end. We thought we were in a healing moment with her, right? Because that's what we do. We go to social media for a Bible verse. We go to social media to read a quote that makes us feel good. We were that for Sha'Carri in that small season. We were that for Sha'Carri. And when I say we, Ben, I'm actually talking about black women on social media. That's what I'm talking about. We were that for
black women, please help. Hey, now.
That's what I'm about to say.
Good God Almighty.
Excuse me.
So, but the thing is, like I told you, there's a black women thread.
And she shouldn't have to be out there by herself.
Black women in media thread, and they're ripping her. I'm in that group, and they're ripping her a new one. And I'm like, okay, we can love on the girl that won, and we can love on Sha'Carri at the same time.
That's right.
We've forgiven so many people in the space, especially black men in the space that have done so much BS. Okay.
Well, come now. Say that point again.
Black athletes that have done so much BS, and it could have been beating on their women. It could have been all kinds of stuff, right? We've forgiven them. And all she's done is really use some words. And yes, xenophobia is a bad thing, but this is a learning lesson for her. I mean, I don't care. I don't care, y'all.
I am not going to hold that young black sister to a higher standard than we hold our politicians. I'm not going to hold her to a higher standard than we hold our celebrities. I'm not going to hold her to a higher. Now, I want her to win, so she got to do everything that Rebecca just said. Everything that Rebecca said is exactly what this sister need to do to come back to win. And I did not know from the perspective of black women that's what's going on. So when you say you talking about black women in social media spaces.
For me, because we black women are the ones that helped her in that moment, I feel like. And I feel like she needs this, especially if black American women, right? Those sisterly figures that are behind her and around her. That's what she needs in this moment outside of social media, because like I said, right, we're so fickle on social media. Our words are really like just a random post, a Bible verse that we see that we need to feel good in, a random post off of Justin LeBoy's page that makes us key. That's what we are for her, but she needs that real, authentic, tangible situation in her circle. So,
and that's why I would hope that it's other track stars, or even Naomi, or other young tennis players. I hope it's like that. Those people are reaching out to her. I hope that they're reaching out to her, and I hope that she's susceptible. I can't say it. Susceptible to the.
Did we get our dad joke today?
No, we didn't actually. I didn't get a chance to. But somebody said in the chat, Savage Sweetheart said that this is the same thing basically that they did with Naomi Osaka and Serena when they played. Yeah. And also again, when Naomi played the other young black tennis athlete, I can't remember her name, but what Naomi did in that situation, instead of them letting them try to pit them against each other, Naomi grabbed her hand and said, "You really good, and I want you to do this interview."
I remember.
That's right. Okay. That's right.
And you know why Naomi did that to her? Because Serena did that to Naomi.
Exactly.
And you see how it's very infectious when you bring that down the line. You're like, okay, you know what? Let me bring the same energy everywhere I go. And that's why I say it's very important. It's very important to have that around you, and it's very important for the media to capture that. And that's
to have it around you. To have it. It is so vitally important, because if our sister Sha'Carri doesn't have people around her who can give her the sound advice that you just gave, Rebecca, then we might see her continue to spiral out of control. But you spoke it here, so let's cut that clip, David. Make sure we get this clip on social media, like it or not. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rebecca. Let's get to the after.
Like it.
Like it or not.
Let's get to the after party. What we got left? Little Charlie Mack.
Little Charlie, whatever the
Little
man's
Charlie
name was.
Kirk.
What's his name?
Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is what they call him.
Kirk. We on to you, Playboy.
Bishop Muff.
We know what you did.
We know what you did.
You on
and
the
your
clock.
80 buses. You on the clock, doctor.
With
Little Charlie Kirk.
Little Charlie Kirk.
Shut up, Dr. Mac, man. Shut up, Dr. Mac. Queen Rebecca, let me tell you. Sister, you
Brother
are
DJ.
just gorgeous. Amazing.
Brother DJ.
But Brother Ben, could you please?
But the DJ, Mr. DJ, play us something nice. DJ,
man,
our brother over here. Play us something nice.
Speak to me in that Creole, Rebecca.
Right. Rebecca, say something to me in that Creole, sister girl.
Ou gen l'argent, mwen men l'argent pile. Ou gen l'argent, si ou pa gen l'argent, pa pale avem. Mwen men nek ki gen l'argent. Mwen men nek ki gen cheve. Hey,
one of these days,
sister,
hey, James,
I love when you talk like
James,
that to
one
me.
of these days I'm gonna mess Rebecca up and speak back to her in Creole. We've been hanging out with her too.
Hey, I'm working on it. Look, too, when she gonna say something, I'm gonna say, oui, sister. Something I said. No,
really?
mess that all up.
Oh man, why is it that we learn profanity first? I just have to stop I have to stop talking because I know more Haitian profanity words than I do grammar.
Right.
All right, folks.
That's because y'all was bullies and y'all always try to use it against us.
I damn it walked right into that.
Child, I'm
But
Haitian
not
by
me.
association, so that
Not
wouldn't be
me.
either. Look.
Wait a minute, not me. I didn't participate.
People would
Some of my
learn-
best
people
friends
would
are
learn
gay,
it
are
just to
Haitian.
sing it back to them.
But Ben, what the hell?
I'm just connecting the stories. I'm connecting the stories with little boosts.
We ran so these new Haitian kids could walk. You hear me?
Right. Right.
I got pegged by my own mangoes in my own yard, so that the Haitian kids now could share their mangoes that I used to get pegged with the American kids.
We are pushing the envelope here today, folks.
We are. When I say pushing, we pushing.
That's all right. No, that's all right.
I almost got canceled, but I connected the dots.
There's diversity right here, so I can say my history and my past. You guys weren't a part of that, but I know that you've seen it and you understand what I'm saying.
Like, no, I walked right into it. That
like
Haiti
I said,
Day.
we ran so that these kids do not get bullied like we did. So these new kids, I think I'm okay that I took a lot of bullying and getting chased down the street and whooping these girls behinds almost every day, so that these kids don't have to do that anymore.
You were beating our little black queens up, our little African American queens.
Yes, I was, because they would chase me home.
And that's another
sorry.
another good conversation to add too, because I know when I was bullied when I was younger for being a little fat pudgy kid and with a bad attitude. When I tell y'all, I used to punch walls and splinter bleachers and everything.
You know what I
Now
did?
Look at me.
You know what I did?
What did you do?
I became the drum major of a marching band and let all my anger out that way.
Right there.
I didn't have to do
World's
it.
shortest drum major, but
I was. Do you know
how to do a split, Ben?
Oh yeah, we were out there doing splits, and the only thing I couldn't do was a backflip. I was too short to get a good back. Well, no, that's no excuse. That's no excuse to take out Simone Biles. So I digress. Never mind.
All right, no.
Just wasn't
Ben,
athletic.
do you still know how to do a split?
Yeah, I can still do it. But we're not doing no full splits. We ain't doing the stripper
I know
split.
you're
We're doing the
doing
marching band
split.
split.
Like the James Brown split.
Yeah.
The one leg back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can still get down and get back up pretty easily
Can
with
you
a little
do
bit
that,
of help
brother?
of some
I used to
Genge.
be able to, child. That in
not
like
with
10,
that hip
15
replacement.
years. It's been about 15, 20 years. I used to drop down like it's hot. Now I let it down like it's warm.
Let me tell you something.
And
I
ease
pray
it up
that
like
God-
it's old. Ease
I
it up
pray
like
that
it's old.
God preserves my Haitian knees, because I love to go down and bring it up. And during the pandemic, because I wasn't going down and bringing it back up, I tried and they got stiff on me. I said, "Oh, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus."
But wait, on one of your IG
rebuke
stories,
the
you was
spirit
down
of
there. Them
stiffness.
knees look like Megan knees. I'm like, okay, Rebecca, I see you down there.
Listen, my knees is they good now, because I was like, baby, we will not. When I could not get back up, I knew. I was like, oh no, it's a little weight on my knees. I can't
You got a little flesh.
like,
You got flesh
no.
around your knees. You got a little
No,
flesh around your
there was
knees for the
no
first time.
TikToks available to do. I was like, I
my
can't.
skin is.
I was like, nah, I got
chubby knees. Rebecca,
Yeah,
you got chubby knees.
I had to definitely get it together. It felt
Welcome
like
to the
fluid.
club. Welcome to the 30 plus club. That's when your knees get chubby.
No. I rectified that before I turned 31. That was last pandemic. Look, that was last pandemic. And this pandemic, knees are great, baby. I run miles and miles. I do 5, straight across. And look, she's good.
Oh,
she said, no, they're fine. They're good.
Yeah, no, I'm out of sync. I am completely out of sync. My ankles are saying, boy, if you eat one more hamburger. So I'm going to catch up with you, Rebecca. I found me a personal trainer who does vaccine only clients. So I'm gonna jump in there and try to get some of these chubby knees off of us, Rebecca. You said
it was just the fluid. I felt like that was in my knee.
So you have fluid on your knee.
You gotta drain the fluid.
If you knock your knee out of place, fluid will come into that area and it will hurt.
Rebecca, you are telling now. Listen, everyone who's under 21 is like, "Ooh, she old."
No. I don't remember 30-year-olds being 31 and up year olds, 30 plus crew, because that's what I'm in now. I'm auntie. I don't remember them being as childish as we were. So, as we are now. I don't remember that.
Foolish, you mean like this? Like this.
Somebody sent me this and said, Rebecca, this looks exactly like you. I'm like,
when I first saw it, I thought it was. I'm like, wait, Rebecca talked about the girl in the hills. Is this her?
I got sent this twice, and I'm like, this is not me. I know I would never do no crate challenge, but they're like, we see you in with outfits like this in your point. That's when I go running. I don't know why. Like, why would y'all like?
They might have caught you out.
But look, that's my legs, though. That's my legs.
I was in the
this is why you should trust. This is why you should trust and follow black women, because. What the hell is she able?
It's called technique.
And y'all know those crates have little holes in those, and she has on full freaking high heels. Making us do that.
She has the heel that's more of a platform, so it's thicker.
She has the OnlyFans. She has the OnlyFans heels. Those are OnlyFans heels.
I love that. I love that.
The thick
am I lying?
It's a thicker heel. We have.
Did y'all see that? Watch.
Wait a minute.
He still made. Oh, David, you had to play the music with it, David.
No crank. Come now.
Send your anointing. Father, I pray. Order my steps
in your word.
Doom.
Please order my steps in
okay.
Your word.
Let me go ahead and give props right now. Let me give props right now. When Florida A&M University Marching 100 played this goddamn song, boy.
Yeah.
Woo!
No. Yeah. That and Total Praise. When they played Total Praise.
That and Total Praise.
And I hate to flip it and reverse it on y'all, but when they played Sweet Love.
Okay.
Sweet Love.
Then you brought that up before on the show. I know you a fan. I know.
The tuba line.
But you still ain't gonna ever take our Stairway to Heaven though, so it's okay. Yeah, you're never gonna get our Stairway to Heaven.
Agreed. I have a whole lot of other.
Dunning McClurkin Stan.
James, I had to pause because I have so many songs that Mr. Portier wrote.
Yeah,
that are amazing. That Drew Hill, I can't even think of it, but I digress. The point is his steps was ordered because he was supposed to put him back on the screen because he was supposed to meet his Jesus right there.
He was.
Jesus was calling his name.
Did y'all school play y'all quad?
Somebody's calling his name. I'm sorry. Yes, we did.
Did y'all play gospel music with the hood music on y'all quad? Because we did.
We were 99 jams all day long. You have gospel until noon, and then you play a chapel song.
Did y'all not have Set Friday? What did y'all have?
The set was every day.
Yeah.
No,
we lived on the quad.
Did y'all know we had?
You can drop the music, David.
At FAMU, we had Set Fridays where the whole school would literally ditch class, never go. And we would go meet up at the quad, and DJs would just be out there, and we would be out there.
So we're a Methodist school. We didn't believe in things like that. We're wholesome.
We were
Christians.
holy.
Well, we were holy on Sunday when we were supposed to be. Monday through Thursday, we would be in our classes, and on Friday was the day that we'd be like,
it was a daily.
Tonight, you and your friends free until midnight. Make sure you bring your friends,
James.
and make sure you tip the bartender tonight.
James, what's the name of that street right there next to Daytona Community College? See, it was a daily routine. We didn't have a weekly cycle of debauchery. We had a date. We wake up praising the Lord, and by noon we're at somebody's trap. That's just how it kind of works.
Like they made us go to, that's why made us go to church.
Yeah.
They had. I would think the song that they used to play on the set was when I first got there was the damn Yes, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Kurt Carr and the Kurt Carr singers.
Like,
really?
Because it never ended, right? But let me tell you how we would over there go from Boosie, right? And then we'll go to Yes, Lord. And then we would literally
let's do this. Rebecca, can I ask you a question? How much time y'all got? Because I know y'all got these corporate overlords we're still trying to overthrow. And y'all got to go to work. And
cramps are actually killing me right now. That's why you keep hearing me breathe.
Well, thanks. It's such as life. Listen, hey, do what you got to do, James. What you got to do, because there's so many stories that we haven't given you guys yet. But it sounds like what we're going to do is tell them all at the patron party tomorrow night. So if you are not a patron, you're going to miss out on the story.
Rebecca, if you say it, girl, I'm gonna come over there and snatch this wig off your head. You better have your ass there tomorrow. I know it's not. But we'll come snatch it off.
It's a crochet. Okay, but yes, but I will
tomorrow night. If you're not a patron, patreon.com/liking or not, or y'all could go to if you're a patron of anybody.
Get off the computer.
She is. No, she's getting ready to leave. Did he bust his head?
Yes.
Defund the police.
I don't want to see this though. Why y'all showing me stuff that should be reported?
Look at the lightning. Media. Look at the lightning flashing in the background.
The chief out there too. His dumb ass.
You shall not pass.
But he didn't fall like the black folks was falling. It looked like he almost had assistance, like people to help him.
No, that was my thing of this video was the person that was recording it. Oh yeah, he messed up.
Wait. What is it? Come on, Quinn. Come on, Quinn. You come over here walking, you'll go back limping.
All right, y'all.
Man,
that's our time.
Yeah.
I'm not here for a long time, but I'm only here for a good time.
Jeremiah's come to collect his daddy. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.
Jeremiah.
Love you guys.
Love y'all minutes. See y'all tomorrow.
Say hey to everybody. Come say hey.
Jeremiah, look, because you kicked me off before I could say hey. I gotta go, y'all. My cramp is killing me.
It's like one cramp and it's killing her. All right,
bye, y'all. See y'all later.
David, I'm about to say if you got a slide you can play so I can get ready for work too. Love y'all, mean it. We'll get y'all here real quick before I get out, man. Hope y'all have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Make sure that you stay safe. Mask up and talk to somebody today about getting the vaccine, man. Let's do what we can. Help this community, help the neighborhood, help the world. Do your part. Love y'all, mean it. See y'all tomorrow. Happy Thursday, Junior. Tomorrow's Friday.
You ain't playing fair. No, I ain't playing fair. No, I ain't playing fair. Asked her why she staying there. She said she don't know. I had to ask some more, but I really had to go and get my bop on. Yeah, I get my bop on. If she needs some good, tell her she got hop on. She know I'm the top dog. I know she a hot one, but Lindsay's on the feet, and you know I got the socks on. Yeah, I get my bop on. Yeah, I get my bop on. If she needs some good, tell her she got hop on. She know I'm the top dog. I know she a hot one, but Lindsay's on the feet, and you know I got the socks on. She said with my hot